worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode 7, I believe we're on, of Car Shopping Questions and Answers. We're live. Today is Thursday, 3 p.m. If you're watching this right now, then you are live. What we're going to start doing is we're going to start letting you know, because we do rebroadcast these shows all day, so you can, catch up on them. You can send friends and family to watch the rebroadcast. But right now, you are actually with us live. So welcome. If this is your first time here, can you type a 1 in the chat? Shout out to the first time people. I just want to see how many people are new. You've never seen me before. You've never been on a live show. Okay, Troop Chat, I see you, Troop Chat. Good to see you. I always like to know, because most of you probably have never been on a live with me before. What's up, Black Hummingbird? Great to see you. So hold on, I got Instagram on my phone here. And as you come in, first of all, I want to introduce myself, because you don't know me. My name is Deshone. I go by Deshone the Auto Advisor. I spent 14 years in the car business, 5 with Mercedes, 5 with General Motors, and 4 I ran my own brokerage. Now what I've been doing since 2020 is showing you how to get below market car deals on purchases, leases, used cars, new cars, everything from home. I'm the author of the book, the digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And during the show, for 30 minutes, as part of our welcome offer, you can get your copy for 75% off. It's normally $97, but in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, and in the comment section, you can grab your book. You won't leave the broadcast, so you can make sure you get there before the countdown, but you'll still be here tuned in with us. So I want you to start typing your questions, and then Dolan, who's moderating, is going to pull them into the show, and we'll answer them one by one. Okay? Start typing your questions. I see we already got one from Michelle here on TikTok. Bounce back. Type your question on Instagram. I see you. Type your question in. And could everybody who shares, share? I'm only talking to the sharers. I know who y'all are, and I'm talking to y'all. Shout out to the sharers. And I'm still trying to find out. I might do a giveaway once a show for the sharers only, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to see them. So I got to figure out, maybe you screenshot that you shared, and we trying to do something special for y'all above and beyond, because we can't grow this show without y'all. The ones who tell your friends, the ones who invite your friends, the one who tag your friends, the one who hit those share buttons. Appreciate y'all. So we got something coming for y'all very soon. Okay? So pull the first question, and Dolan, let's get the show on the road. Okay, this one's from TikTok. Leasing and maintenance versus purchasing and maintenance. Great question. So with a lease, most times all you're doing is oil changes, tire rotations. If you got a luxury vehicle or import luxury vehicle, maybe they require like a brake fluid change. Like when I worked for Mercedes, you had a service A, service B, service A, service B. That's how it usually rotated. And the service B was, a brake fluid change, but it's pretty cut and dry because it's a new car. So versus purchasing, then you're talking about long-term maintenance. Then you're talking about, which if you got a good car, you're usually still doing those things up front. But as you own it long-term, now you're doing things like, you're doing the recommended maintenance. So you might have a 60,000 mile service, a 80,000 mile service, a 100K service. These are all things that come in the maintenance book. And with the lease, 99 times out of 100, we're not doing that. So, you know, it's a very, I'm not going to say we're not doing that, but if I lease, whenever I lease, I'm not doing those services because we're out of the car way before we ever hit that mileage. So big difference, big difference. All right, go ahead. Next one, Dolan. Let's go. Black Hummingbird, and y'all forgive me because I got a little something trying to jump on me, but I'm just gonna flush it out. Praise the Lord, and we gonna get through this. So y'all see me all congested, it's because I am, but we good. My car was totaled in an accident. Sorry to hear that. How long should I wait before I get another one? How long can you wait? You know, I'm not a fan of shopping with my back against the wall, but I'm a fan of, you know, if you are you going to be in a rental car? Are they giving you a rental? Sometimes you only have 30 days with the rental before you have to pay. I don't know if you have a backup car, but you know, that's going to depend. So what you need to ask yourself right now, because you have to replace that car eventually, I want you to ask yourself, and everyone on here, I want you to answer this question: how many years are you keeping in that car that you're buying? But first of all, who's shopping for a car now, or you will be in the next 12 months? Type me in the comments. If you're shopping right now, like Deshone, I'm in the market right now, or you will be in the next 12 months, type me in the comments. Okay, I see you on TikTok. Anyone shopping for a car? Michelle, she's shopping. Okay, if you're shopping for a car right now, or you will be in the next 12 months, type me in the comments. All right, Black Hummingbird. Yep, I see you. El Rel on YouTube, I see you. Jesus on YouTube, I see you. All right. The first question I want y'all to answer, everybody, is how many years you're keeping the next car? How many years are you keeping the next car? This is very important because this is the buying versus leasing question. How many years are you keeping the next car is the buying versus leasing question. So your Black Hummingbird, when you shop, is going to depend on how long you have. If you got a backup car, then there's no rush. If you don't have a backup car, then you need to find out, are they giving you a rental? You know, because that's going to dictate. I can't really give you any more information without knowing that. So if you want to tap in, follow up, we'll try to get your follow-up question here. All right, go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan, and let's see if we can get the follow-up for Black Hummingbird. I'm shopping by used. I don't even know what that means. Go ahead, Dolan. Okay, this one's from TikTok. My third live, I need a used car by June 1st, so lost. Where you lost? Everyone learns differently. So you have to ask yourself, how do you learn? There are people on these lives, we've already gotten DMs and emails saying that people use the show, they use the strategy, and they got cars. So we've only been doing these shows for a couple weeks now. That's because they can learn that way. Somebody else who can't, you got to be honest with yourself, but I give you the information in multiple different ways. In my book, if you're a book person, in my video library, it's up to you. But if you're sitting here, because everything we do on this show, I try to break it down. No, we don't rush through answers. I don't give y'all one-word answers. Every question, we pretty much take it and we break it down to the nth degree. And some of the things you guys have similar questions, so we've answered them on multiple shows. But you have to know how you learn in order for you to win. Okay? If you're lost here, then you could stick around and we'll continue to do what we do here. But you have to know how you learn. That's why we make information available in a multitude of ways. You see people who have my book. Some people could piece deals together with my social media videos, even though they're all different topics. Used cars, buying cash, leases, they're all different types. So you got to really piece them together. Some people do it that way. It's up to you. But don't just sit there struggling, man. Not at the cost of what it costs. Not at what it costs. All my information is available and it's affordable. Some of it's free, a lot of it is free. But every single product I offer, from my coaching program to my book, it's all affordable. So get in where you fit in, brother. That's really the best advice I could give you. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next question. Okay, this one's from YouTube. LRel, what's going on? Peace, Deshone. I'm in the market for a used pickup truck for work. Never had one. How do I narrow down a reliable make model? Okay, so if I'm looking at you, the question you're asking is about the quality of the car, not finding a good one. So, example, let's just say there's a Dodge, a Dodge pickup truck. I'm just making this up, and that vehicle has a low reliability score. It doesn't matter if I go find a good one and I use my steps, the steps I'm going to go over with you to find a great used car, because the car overall has a low reliability score. Some Nissans have a low reliability longevity score because of their transmission. It doesn't matter if you use what I'm going to teach you to narrow it down to a great one, because the vehicle overall has a low longevity score. So I think the question you're asking is, how do I find a vehicle that has a good reliable one, and then I'll go shop for it. And because we could switch it. You could have a vehicle that has a high reliability score, high longevity score, but then you got a bad one because you didn't have a process on how to get it. So I think you're asking the first question, which is top level, how do I choose some good vehicles? And that's really Google, and we have a process. It's in our shopping process where we do a reliability check on every single vehicle. It takes 5 minutes to do. You're going to type in the specific year, because years change. You might have a 2019 that has low reliability scores. In 2020, they fixed it. So we got to make sure we're adding the year when we do this Google search. But if I'm looking for a pickup, I'm looking at like a 1500, and I'm looking at, what I need. Some people need 2500 if you need heavy duty or something like that. But then what you're doing is typing it into Google, and you're looking at all the competitors. I'm looking at the Toyota pickup. I'm looking at the Dodge pickup. I'm looking at the Ford pickup. I'm looking at the Chevy pickup. And then I'm just choosing, all right, which one of those do I like? All right, I like those two. Then I'm deciding which one I'm going to like. Now, if you're buying used, you can't test drive it, because you can't test drive a used car until literally you're ready to take it home. You can't go and test drive one here, because the one you end up getting may drive totally different. That's just the way it is with used cars. So oftentimes what you're doing with used cars is you're looking at it, you're looking at videos on YouTube, but you're going to narrow it down to what you like, usually what you see in supermarkets, parking lots, on the road. Oh my goodness. Lord Jesus, help me get through this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do that reliability check. So you go to Google, you type in the year 2019 Toyota Tundra reliability. Then you're going to skim that first page. So that first page of articles is going to tell you all you need to know. If you see low scores, if you see 7 out of 10 reliability, just skim that. Don't pay attention to any site from a dealer. This is part 4. This is in my book, because this is step 4. Because the next step after this car passes this test is now we're going to shop for it. You can't skip this. So that's why this is a really good question. Some of you are skipping the process of doing a reliability, longevity, and initial quality check on the cars you're getting. And that's why you get cars that are in the shop every 90 days. It's not because you bought a bad one necessarily. It's because the car itself has a low rating. Transmission's going out on you because you didn't do a longevity check to see that that car is known to have transmission problems at 80,000, 90,000 miles. So if you skip this little 5-minute step, it could cost you thousands of dollars. So you want to do that reliability, skim those articles. And then because you're keeping long term, you're not leasing, you're going to do the same thing with longevity. So you're going to type in 2019 Toyota Tundra longevity. And that's when you're going to see what they're saying about the car long term. Does it, transmission issues, engine issues? Sometimes it'll say right at the top, these cars are known to last 200 to 300,000 miles when properly serviced. Then then the only mission is, all right, the car itself has great scores. Now I have to find a good one. Okay? That's step one now. Okay? That's where you start. Great question. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. All right, we got Philip on Facebook. Would you say buying or leasing is better right now? Also, what about down payment with leasing? So, all right, you should never be in a position where you're asking yourself, should I buy or lease this car? Based on what you feel. Yeah, so I feel like I should buy. No, the buying or leasing question is based on how long you're keeping the car. I have something that I do that I teach called the 8-year rule. The 8-year rule says that if you're not buying a car to keep at least 8 years, you should be shopping for a lease. Reason being is there is no way for you to get a great deal on a car if you buy it when you should have leased it. Because lease deals, when you get a great lease deal, it's so good, it's so low, it's so much less money out of pocket that it will take a buyer years to catch up with you. We did a scenario in the last show where we compared this deal that one of our students got, Frina, who uses my stuff. And anyone who's using my stuff is going to get these deals if you follow my process. It's not, you don't have to be great. You could be a bad negotiator. It doesn't matter. As long as you know how to use a computer and do copy and paste, you can get these deals. But we compared her deal, which she got at $579 a month on this $65,000 car, and we compared it to a purchase, which would be literally $900, $1,000 a month. So how do we make this decision? Very simple. If you are not buying your car to keep for 8 years, you should be leasing it, because in the middle, y'all know when I break this out, if you've been on the show before, this is the depreciation scale. This is how your car goes down in value. I know some of you have been taught, I want to buy my car, I drive as much as I want. I don't want to pay for the miles. But you're paying for your miles. Because check this out. You buy your car here for $30,000. A year later, even if you don't drive it, it's no longer worth $30,000. At best, it's worth $22,000. If you don't drive it 1 mile, it's probably worth $25,000. You lost $5,000 and you never drove it 1 mile. That's depreciation. So your car is depreciating like this. Year 1, year 2, year 3. That's why you flipping these cars, buying cars, trading them in 6 months, a year. You're losing at least $5,000, $10,000, but they'll hide it in a monthly payment. See, a cash buyer, you never do this. Some of you who are like, I pay cash, you never do it. You never buy a car, turn around, I don't like the car, I'm gonna trade this thing in. Because when you come in and they tell you, well, I know you just paid 35, but we can only give you 28. I just bought the car 6 months ago. You know what I mean? I lost $7,000 that fast? Yep, at least. You're like, all right, I'm not doing that. But with a payment, they'll hide it in a payment, and you don't understand. You just lost $7,000 in 6 months. So this is how you have to see this short-term ownership when you buy a car. My car is going down in value 20% the first year, 15% the third year. It's losing thousands of dollars. But if I keep it a long time, 7 years, 8 years, it starts to level out where I'm not losing that money anymore. If you have a car outside your house right now that you've had for more than 8 years, I want you to type the number of years you've had the car. Everybody on here, we're live. This is our 3 p.m. Thursday live show. This isn't a rebroadcast. So tell me right now, everyone who has a car outside, type how many years you've had the car. How many years? If it's 8, if it's 9, 10, 12. Had somebody on the last broadcast, somebody said they had like a 15-year-old car outside. You'll notice this, Gilda, you got an 11-year-old car outside. Here's what you'll notice. Your car is no longer losing value like this every year. Your car is no longer losing value like this every year. You're going to look and say, if let's assume right now, Gilda, your car is worth, I'm just making up a number. I don't know the car, nothing. Let's say it's worth $8,000. A year from now, it's going to be worth close to $8,000. Probably worth $75,000. That means you've won. So when you're trying to, when you are buying, wow, Carol's has a 18-year-old car outside. So that means you've won, because this is how you win with a purchase. And pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. You don't win when you pay off the car. You pay off the car, but your car's still dropping like this. You didn't win yet. You didn't win yet. You win when you actually pay off the car and now the car is not dropping in value. You beat the depreciation. That's when you win purchasing. A lot of people were taught, don't keep the car that long. And that's where you're losing. That's why leasing is for you. Because there's only two ways you're going to avoid those hits. You're either going to keep the car long enough to get to where people like Gilda and Carol are. Look, Big Rich has these are people who kept cars long term, or you're going to get great lease deals where you're paying pennies on the dollar and you're winning. But those of you who are stuck in the middle, we got to get you out the middle, because you are losing the most money. You buy cars, you resell them. You buy cars, you trade them in 2 years, 3 years, you're losing the most money. You lease, but then you buy the lease. You're losing the most money. You're stuck in the middle. You got to pick a side. There's only two ways to win. Great lease deals, long-term ownership. Anything in the middle, you're losing thousands and thousands of dollars in depreciation. All right, we clear? All right, perfect. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. I see you, Luscious. I purchased the book. Awesome. Congratulations. Enjoy it. This whole show is sponsored by my new book, y'all. It's called Car Shopping. It's called Cars from Home. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers. So we have a welcome special. So you can get your book for 75% off the whole broadcast. Well, 30 minutes. It's normally $97, but you can get yours. We're rated 4.94 on Goodreads. You can get yours for $24 as long as you get to my bio before the 30 minutes expires. And $97 is a great price. Because here's the thing. I got a lot of books on my shelf. I cannot tell you a lot of books that saved me a lot of money. And my goal for this book was to be one of the books where you look at and say, man, this book right here has saved me thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. And that's my goal for the book. And we've been doing well at that. So, all right, this one's from Instagram. Mission Green. I'm in a purchase for 2 years with negative equity. Want to get into a lease. How can I walk away with the least out-of-pocket cap? So, you're in a purchase right now. You realize, Deshone, I'm not keeping my cars 8 years. I want to transition to a lease. Okay, so what you're going to do, the first thing you're going to do is an equity assessment. Equity assessment is when you find out you're going to get the highest bid, because we never sell a car. We don't trade cars. We never replace a car without getting bids on it. We never buy a car without getting bids on it. We never take a loan without getting bids. So what we are doing is we need to get bids, because bids are going to tell us what is the highest offer we can get for our car, which means that would be the smallest amount of negative equity we could possibly have. So as you get these bids, you're going to get your payoff from your bank, call your bank, get your payoff, then go to CarMax. We like to get 6 bids. CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. Do not use kellysbluebook.com. It's nothing but a marketing website that it does us no good. Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. Auto Nation Sell My Car, and Car Guru Sell My Car. Now, that'll get you 6 offers. And once you have those 6 offers, you'll know this is what my best case scenario is when it comes to my negative equity. That's my best case. There's 2 ways to get out of negative equity and get a car. There's 3 ways to get out of negative equity, but one of them doesn't lead to a car right now. So we're talking about the first option. That's what you do, and you want to pay the difference. So you're going to get all those bids, and you're going to look and say, okay, I got a $4,000 negative equity if I sell my car to AutoNation. They're the highest bid. Highest bid, $4,000 negative equity. I would not be taking any other money other than the putting it to the negative equity. If you got $4,000 in your pocket or anything and you're like, hey, should I put this down? No, we're going to get the next car with no money down. We need to minimize our negative equity by taking the highest offer from the online bidders. Now, once that happens, we close the gap, and that's the way to move. That's the best case scenario. So if you can't do that, then what you're going to do is you have to trade. This is the only time we trade cars. There is no other time where we are going to trade a car, because you don't get the most money trading a car. You don't get the most money trading anything. If you think about it, if you got a lawnmower and I got a bike, and I'm like, man, look, I'll trade you my bike for your I'll trade you my bike for your lawnmower. Neither one of us is really getting the most money that we could get. That's a trade. It's like a little compromise. I take a little less because I got something you want, you got something I want. It's different than me saying, you know what, I got a bike. Let me see the most money I can get for my bike, and then I come back and pay you for the lawnmower. And this is how you have to see it. This is why we don't trade. Because when you trade, you're not making the buyer win a bid. You're not making the buyer bid. You're just saying, whatever you could pay me, I'll take it. That's why the first option I just laid out is the best option. But some of you don't have the cash to pay the difference. So you have to now forget about the old car right now. You shop for your new car and you get bids. So let's just say in that example, I find out I'm you. I can't cover the difference and sell to the online bidders. Now I'm going to start shopping for my lease. So let's say I'm shopping for a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I get my offers. I find out who wins the bid. I identify you're the highest bidder, and I'm going to that dealer and saying, okay, you're the best bid. Can you tell me what you could pay for my old car? I'm not telling them what I owe. That doesn't matter. I'm just seeing, what could you pay for my old car? And then I'm going to have them get an offer. Now, it's not, in 99% of the time, you guys, it's not going to be what you thought it was. If your highest offer over here with the online bidders was 22, do not think that dealer who won the bid is going to say, I'll give you 22. They probably say, the most I can pay for it is 20. And you have to take it because they can't win both bids. That's just almost impossible. The fact they're going to outbid all their competition on the car you're trying to buy from them. So I beat all these other Jeep dealers to win your business, and I'm going to beat CarMax, Boom, Driveway, all these other companies and pay you more for your trade. That's not going to happen. So that's why I say the first option is the best, because the second option, you're going to have more negative equity because the dealer cannot pay as much as the online bidder. So now that's what you would do, and you would tell them, okay, please add it to my deal, and you'd have to roll it into the lease over there. Third scenario where you can't get out is if you have too much negative equity. You're either going to need cash or you're going to need to pay the loan down. It's that simple. Because when you bring that negative equity over, the bank only has a certain amount that they're going to approve. If you're buying a $40,000 vehicle, they're not going to approve $55,000 because you got all this 10 grand negative equity, 12 grand, you're just trying to slap it on. You can have a 900 credit score. That's why I call negative equity the bad credit for people with good credit, because it can literally prevent you from getting a car. So that's when you have to pause, or you got to put money down to try to get within the loan to value ratios. And that's why I say stay out, get out of negative equity and stay out of it. And 99 times out of 100, the reason for your negative equity is you don't lease. You don't lease. You buy cars, you take out 5-6 year loans on them, God forbid longer, 7 years, 8-year loan, and then you trade those cars in before the loan's paid off. That's what's happening 99 times out of 100 to cause people negative equity. And we got and that's the cause. So I just gave you the solutions, but I also want you to know the cause. And that because you're already moving to a lease, you already understand, which is good for you. You already understand, all right, I'm not buying cars anymore until I want to keep something 8+ years. I'm going to start leasing. So this should be your last time ever having negative equity. Okay? Great question. All right, Dolan. Let's throw the next one up. Great question, Mission Green. All right. We are live, y'all. It's our Thursday, 3 p.m. live show. Shoot your questions in. Dolan's going to pull them in one by one. We're going to try to get through as many as we can. What's the best way to start about negotiating from the online price? Is this for a new car or used car? This is RT. I don't want to mispronounce your name. How do I get your book? S. Lewis, it's in the comments. Dolan, can you make sure we got the comment for S. Lewis here on YouTube? For those on YouTube, in the comment, we should have a pinned comment where you can just click it. You go to deshonsbook.com, or you might be watching us on a screen. If you're watching us on a television screen, you can scan that QR code with your phone, and you can get it that way. If you're watching us on TikTok or Instagram, you can go to my bio. There's a link in my bio, and you can grab your copy. And you won't leave the broadcast. You'll still be able to hear us, but you can get your copy before that 30 minutes expires and the book goes back up to $97. Okay, when are you really live? I'm live right now, TFD. I don't want to mess up your name. So, all right. So I can't wait for you to answer, but what's the best way to start negotiating from the online price? So let's just assume are you talking about a used car? If you're talking about a used car, here's what you got to know. There's two types of dealers. One dealer posts great prices and sells cars very fast. That's I didn't witness this until I worked for a Lexus deal. I worked for Lexus for like 6 months. It wasn't for me. Great car, but it wasn't for me as far as the dealership. It's just I had already sold Mercedes. Mercedes was a little bit more exciting clientele because it's just a bunch of different people. There's luxury people, there's sports people, there's performance people. So I went back to Mercedes. But what I saw with this dealership was big on volume. Great price, not going to mark the car up a lot. So if you come in thinking, or if you call thinking, hey, take $3,000 off because you're programmed to negotiate, you're not programmed to know a good price. See, when you know the used car market, which is what I teach, this is what I teach in my book, it's what I teach on the show. You need to know the used car market because, and remember what I'm about to say, this is very important. What's hurting you is you don't even know a deal when you see it. I've had people who are looking, I'm literally making them an offer that I know the dealership is daggone my manager don't even want to do this deal, but they need it. We need the deal. We behind on our numbers. I'm selling the car. We ain't making, it's like pretty much a break even triple net deal. And they're still looking and questioning it. There's nothing we can do. And the reason why I never get in that situation, and the people who listen, if you listen to me, you'll never be in that situation, is because when you have multiple offers, you know a deal. See, the reason why those people would question if this was a deal, they didn't have enough offers. They didn't see that there's offers $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 more than the one I was making them to know confidently, Deshone, this is better than every offer I got so far. Let me take this and get up out of here. So you don't know a deal when you see one, and that's hurting you because someone who knows a deal, like me, or like somebody that listened to me, give you an example. Some of you are in the same town as some of you have my book. And some of you are actually shopping for the same car that someone else on here is shopping for. that means y'all are competing. So someone who's using my stuff and who knows a deal and who's sitting here talking to multiple dealers while you looking at one dealer slow and doing this, they're going to get that car out of before you even have a time to wonder if this was a good deal. Oh, you know what? That is a good deal. Let me call them back. That car's gone. It's gone. So that's the first type of dealer. They price the cars to sell and they're not going to be online for more than 24, maybe 48 hours, and they're gone. The other used car dealer is dealers who price them high and they prepare to negotiate. They're ready because they know people want to see a discount and they're waiting for somebody like you to come in and say, okay, knock $2-3 grand off, you know. But if they're overpriced, what does it matter? If you're overpriced $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and you take $3 grand off, you're still, it wasn't the best deal. So don't think so. Some of the best used car deals, when I bought my Infiniti truck, he literally only had $800 he could give me when I got there. I didn't ask for it when I was on the phone because, again, what I say, I'm trying to teach y'all the psychology. I don't want you to know everything that goes on behind the scenes. I just want you to know what to do. But every now and then I got to tell you why you should be doing this. When that car comes on, and that dealer knows this is the best price in the market, this car is not going to last for 48 hours. You call them and say, hey, could you do another 1,000 off? Click, not even interested. One, the car just got here. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're serious. Listen, we ain't got no time for that. What we do when we find that best car is we know we've done all our research online from home. I'm on my way. Only thing I need to know is, has the car been smoked in? Because I can't see that online. That's the only thing. We verify that there's no fake fees, because some dealers will price a car low and then they add fake fees because they want you to come without even asking them about the fees. And the second type will, hey, the car's been smoked in, and if you don't ask them, you'll get there and be like, oh, car smells like smoke. That's the only two things we verify. No bogus fees. Nope, hasn't been smoked in. I'm on my way. Then when I get there, we test drive. Car meets our test drive. All right, boom. Can you do another 500 off, 700 off? Because I already know it's the best price in the market. See, when you know the market, you negotiate intelligently. When you don't know the market, you come in, hey, listen, take $3 grand off. You don't realize you look ridiculous. I don't want you looking ridiculous saying, yo, man, I can't do it. You haven't done your research. I don't want you leaving, oh man, that dealer don't want to make a deal. No, you didn't know a deal. And you leaving and you like, oh man, I'm gonna find somebody. So this is the science of car shopping online. This is the science. You gotta be able to know, is this car the best price in the market? If so, I'm not gonna ask for any discount until I get there. Because once they see me, I drove it, they know I'm serious. I know the car's the best price in the market. Hey, can you do another 500? Even if they say no, I know they won. All right, I won. But if they say, yeah, listen, I wouldn't normally do it because the car just got here, which is true. I know that. But, you're here. We want, all right, $500, we got it. Or, hey, look, can we split it? I really don't have the room. In which case, we know they're telling the truth because we know the market. You got it. We'll do it. This is how you get below market used car deals. You don't just stumble onto them. You get what I'm saying? Is everybody clear on that? Type clear if y'all are following what I'm saying. Clear if you're following what I'm saying. You're not going to accidentally stumble into a below market deal. It takes strategy to get below market deals. If everybody could get below market deals, they wouldn't be below market deals. They'd be average deals. Does that make sense? All right, glad we clear. I see you, Michelle. All right, shoot the next question up, Dolan. Let's roll. Let's keep it going. I see you, Rose, on Facebook. All right, Blooming Chosen One from Instagram. Almost done closing at 1%. Let's go. Come on. Come on. That's what I want to hear. Come on. If y'all don't understand, Blooming Chosen One is about to close a 1% lease deal. That means her lease pay, I'm assuming that this is a woman. I can't see, so forgive me if there's no picture. She's about to close a lease deal at 1%. which means her lease payment is 1% of the MSRP, no money down. I just want to make sure it's clear, chosen one. We don't, if it's money down, it's not 1%. It should be like $400 a month. I'm giving you $400, car's $40,000. That's 1%. So, any tips on techniques for finding great deals on insurance? I use Insurify or I use Jerry. These are apps that shop on websites that shop multiple carriers. And I know it's Kayak and stuff like that, but what I found is Insurify has like insurance companies that we don't know about. It's painful shopping for insurance unless you have something that's actually, because think about all the insurance companies around us that will want to give us auto insurance. We don't know about them now. Small companies, they don't have the advertising budgets. So you want a tool that's going to connect you with all these insurance companies, not just the big name ones that we all know, Liberty Mutual, State Farm, that got the, $1 billion marketing budget. Some of the smaller insurance companies, we want to get those offers. And so Insurify.com, I'm not sponsored by them. I just love multiple offers. So I love multiple offers. And so any tool that gets me multiple offers on anything, I love. So yeah, that's what I would say. So keep me posted. I told you I want to see your deals. See, she ain't even say what car she's looking at. That's how we know. See, people with no skills, all they talk about is the car. Just got the new Range Rover. Yep, just treated myself. Retirement gift. All they talk about is the car. And I'm not stepping on your toes, but you like Deshone, that's me. That's me. I know who I'm talking to. When you start getting skills and buying cars, making people bid 90 minutes from home, using my systems, the first thing that you're excited about is the deal. The car is second, but the deals, once this deal's closed, now I'll get excited about the car. All right, good job. Great job. I love it. Go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan. All right, from TikTok. Is it true that there is no need for down payment? That if you do it, it goes to the salesperson's commission. If you do it wrong, if you are doing a down payment, it's between you and the lender. If you go in and you're a payment shopper, then your down payment is usually going to go to commission. A payment shopper says things like, how much does that car cost a month? Okay, that's a little high. Could you get it to, could you get it like under 6? As a payment shopper. No idea about the numbers, just talking about payments. If you stop doing that, and if you've done that, see, I don't want to, look, I hope we're building a community here where people could be honest. If you've done that, type ouch in the comments. If you've gone into a dealer, looked at a car, and said, how much those run a month? What kind of monthly payments are on those? And I know that there's some people who are not gonna be honest, but this is how a lot of people shop. It's a payment thing. Yeah, okay. I appreciate it. I see. All right. I see we got some. All right, we got some people being honest in here. I see you. I see you, Michelle. I see you, Bye Lion. Not Michelle. So that's where you get in trouble. So what do you do outside of that? You separate the payments from the car. The payment you handle when you're shopping for, look, Byron on YouTube said, ouch, just experienced this past weekend. It's terrible out here. It's great out here for us, okay? It's terrible when you have no strategy. It's terrible if you're winging it. It's great out here for us. Like, and I'm not even saying that, underplaying that. Like, I've been doing this so long, and I got just so many people that done learn from me, and so many people getting cars. I got a private group, so I get to see this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I get to. If you guys been on these shows, I share people's stuff. I share Tope stuff. Greg's deal. This is our book, 4.94 on Goodreads. Get your book 75% off, or you can wait and miss the 75. You can pay 97. Either way, it's worth it. Either way, but $24 is better than $97. In my TikTok bio, you got 30 minutes, or in my Instagram bio. But check this out, Kimberly's deal. She saved 20 grand off her Maserati. Look, Bonita, middle of the pandemic. So we've been hearing since we started this whole thing, yo, it's terrible out here. Man, there's no deals out here. Middle of the pandemic. Look, December 2022. Blood in the streets. Kia Telluride, one of the most popular vehicles of the last 3 years. Bonita, from home. Kia, 2023. 600 down, 600 a month. People paying $800-900. It's people right now that's going to watch this broadcast that has this particular car paying $700,000-900,000 a month for it. This same vehicle. So, Charles, Hyundai Palisade, top 5 most popular vehicles the last 5 years in this category. Look, $597 a month, $48,000 truck. So it's what you know. In fact, it's what you don't know. So I would tell you, yes, when you are winging it, when you shopping, when you just winging it, yeah, Byron, it's gonna seem like, man, it's horrible out here. When you step back and start using my bidding systems and letting these deals come to you, letting loans come to you, you're gonna feel like you're in control. You call the shots. Okay? So that's what I want everybody to know. It's all perspective. You know, somebody who's never had a fight in their life may be like, oh, shoot, I'm gonna lose this fight. Mike Tyson, he's not worried about losing a fight. And I hope he's not throwing this fight. So, another end. It's all about what you know. You learn better skills, you get different results. You keep the same skills, keep shopping like our grandparents shop, keep shopping like our parents shop when there was no internet, keep shopping like it's 2005, you're going to get those same results. All right? Everything I'm talking about, y'all, is in my book. This whole show is sponsored by my book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. My whole shopping system is in there. You can get yours in my bio. I just said that. So go ahead, Dolan. Shoot that next question up that you had up on the screen. My lease is up this year, but I'm over 4,000 miles, and a car dealer just told me if I lease again that I'll have to pay for the over miles. What do I do? Okay, I want you to know something, and I want you to hear me clearly. Dealers who tell you they'll cover the mileage. I know some of you have heard this in the past. You know, my dealer said if I release a car from them, they took care of the mileage for me. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Mileage is never taken care of because mileage is between you and the bank. You told me you were going to drive this, the bank, not the dealer. Dealer has nothing to do with the car. Once you drive off the lot, it's between you and the bank. It's between you and the leasing company. So when you go over miles, the bank says they told us they were going to bring this car back with 36,000 miles on it. They already have an estimated value of what they're going to sell the car for, and it's based on 36,000 miles. That's why if we're under miles, we always do an equity assessment. You're going to do this either way, Miss B, but this is one of the main reasons when we're under miles, it doesn't matter, because if we drive less than we told them we were going to drive, we want to see if there's any equity that we can actually pull out. If you didn't know you can sell a lease, yeah, that's another discovery. Aha moment, you can. We've been doing it for years. So, but going back to this case, if you're over miles, you got to pay for it because you can't give it back to them. It comes out of their profit. So what do we do to try to minimize this? One, we don't let a dealer tell us we're going to work this out for you. We have to do our own equity assessment. So you want to see what your position is. You want to call the leasing company, get your payoff. This is the second step in my process. Once you know whether you're going to buy or lease again, that's step one. Now, if you have a car to replace, you own it, you lease it, doesn't matter. Anything you're replacing, we got to do an equity assessment on it. So we're going to call the bank, get our payoff. If it's paid off, obviously we don't have to do that. And then you're going to get that payoff, and then you're going to get those offers I talked about earlier in the show. If you missed it, I don't want to go through the whole equity assessment process because we already did it. And for the people who've been on here, I don't want to repeat the whole thing. But if you go on YouTube, if you go on Facebook, you'll be able to see the broadcast. Go to the section on equity assessment and follow that process, because you need to see, can I sell this vehicle and break even, get out of it, or if I have a mileage penalty, you know, does it make more sense for me to actually get out now, which in a lot of cases it probably won't because you have payments remaining. So if you got out now, see, if you sell it, it's clean. So if you sell it, and it goes back to what we were talking about with what somebody asked the question about the negative equity. Let's just say I'm you. I do my equity assessment. I find out to get out of the lease, I got to contribute like $1,000, but I could get out now. When I sell a lease, there's no penalty. It's literally no payments due, nothing. It's everyone's whole. That's the only way everyone's whole. My second option is I got to account for the payments I have left on my contract. If I got 5 payments left at $500 a month, that's $2,500. Does it make more sense for me to get out now and pay those payments? Probably not. Or does it make more sense for me to just wait and take the mileage penalty? So those are the 3 things you're comparing. Selling the car, and you're seeing what's the least money that comes out of my pocket. What's the best of those things? Selling the car, getting out now and taking the payment hit, because all those payments are going to be due. They're going to have to be rolled over to your next vehicle, or driving the car until you get close to the end of the lease, and maybe maybe it depends on how much you drive per month. And maybe you're 8,000 miles over, and that's a $2,000 mileage penalty. So these are the things you have to think about. But I'm telling you that if you just walk into a dealer and say, hey, could you work this up for me? Now you don't even have the luxury of guaranteeing you got the best price on the car. So now, because they see you as desperate, oh, she needs help. She don't know what she's doing. So let's just work these numbers, move these numbers around, and tell her, hey, we got you to this payment. Does that work? Now you're a payment shopper and you don't even know. Just give me to a monthly payment that makes sense. You didn't realize that you overpaid, and they're packing that deal, and you overpaid by probably $4 or $5 grand because you wanted to let them do it. So those are 3 scenarios, and it all starts with the equity assessment. Because like I said, you might be able to do that equity assessment and find out, oh, I could come up with $1,000 and I'm out of this thing clean right now. Or you might break even. It depends. That's why it's always an equity assessment. Equity assessment is probably everything in our process is important, but my God, skipping the equity assessment, you're skipping probably half of your transaction. Okay? And if you don't know how to do equity assessment, watch the show earlier. If you have my book, it's all in there. It's up to you. Go ahead, Dola, shoot the next question. Bought your book. Thank you for doing this. Thank you, Michelle. Enjoy it. Use it. Use it and win. For the rest of your life, use that book. And it's a digital book, so you don't have to worry about when it needs updating. I just update it. You'll open it one day. Like, let's say you get your car now. A year from now, you open up that book and you're like, all right, I need another car. My spouse need a car. My child need a car. Man, wait a minute. There's different stuff in here. That's why you always keep the email I send you with the master link in it, because that's where I update the book. All of you who got the book, when you download it, don't save the email, because when you click that master link, that's where I update the file whenever something changes. So, and I couldn't do that with a print book. I can only do that with a digital book. Yeah, don't worry. I don't do trades, J. Paul. So if you ever see somebody selling crypto, all of that, like anybody with a decent amount of followers is going to have knockoff accounts. Like, I do car education. That's all I do. I don't do crypto. I don't do none of this other stuff. It's been fake Deshone the Auto Advisor accounts since we was on TikTok. We got 1.5 million followers on TikTok. The fake Deshone the Auto Advisor account started popping up. Nothing we can do about it. You got to watch it, though. Watch it. Okay, this one's from Instagram. Considering a lease of a Lexus electric vehicle. First time lease customer. Do you have any advice shopping for a lease premium electric vehicle? Same process. Same process. My system doesn't change. I'm gonna tell you, there's only one scenario where it changes, but electric cars, look, doesn't matter. Look, Look at Sean. Bids. F-150 XLT electric. Bids. $73,000 vehicle. He got it for 57. He saved over 20 grand. Bids. That's electric. Electric. You don't know what rebates there are. You don't know what's what. Rolls Royce. Bids. Popular cars. Bids. Exotic cars. Bids. Doesn't matter. Process is the same. The only time that bidding is not called for when purchasing the car is with Tesla or any manufacturer where the price is set. No matter where you go in the country, it's the same price. You buy Tesla in New Jersey, same price in California, same price in Minnesota. One price all around the country. You order the car. That's it. I don't care if you have GM supplier pricing. That everyone's doing a different price. Some people are not going to tell you. They won't tell you what the rebates is. Some people, oh, Deshone, I'm a Ford employee. I get Ford special pricing. Bids. Because 80% of dealers are going to lie and not give you the real Ford special pricing. Everything is bids. Put everything under there. All right? Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up, brother. No, you don't bid. You don't bid, Coco. You're making people bid. This one bounced back, Brian from Instagram. What's up? Hey, bro, I recently financed the BMW 330M, but the problem is they gave me a high APR. Sounds like a payment shopper. Listen, we got to take responsibility. You accepted a high APR. Now, how do you get out of it? Only way is to refinance. You can refinance or sell a vehicle. And so bids, what we do is, see, now let's just say for an example, you use our system we call the bank bidding war. Bank bidding war is 3 rounds. We check to see if there's any special interest rates. 1, no special interest rates on the car, which a BMW 330M, probably not. You never know. But then if there's no special interest rates, we go and we get bids and we find a dealer that's going to sell us the BMW M for the lowest price. And it doesn't matter, popular cars. I had a young lady earlier this year. Well, no, that was last year. She was looking at the brand new X4M, redesigned, just redesigned, brand new body style. She got her offers. Best offer was $3,000 below MSRP. Worst offer was like $5,000 over MSRP. Brand new, newly designed, fresh in the country. No one's ever seen it. Bids, she got $3,000 below MSRP. When people are paying thousands more than that. So it doesn't matter the car. Now, once we, but that's that's the part where I say you separate the loan from the car. You separate the loan from the car. We find the dealer who's going to sell us the car for the lowest price. Once that's done, now this is when we talk about the second round of the bank bidding war, which is my bank, my credit union, online lenders, not the dealer yet. The dealer is round 3. The dealer's banks, the dealer's credit unions, that's round 3. That's the final round. Second round is I'm coming home, getting my bank, my credit union, online, giving them my information, going online, car loans online, looking at everyone that I can find that gives car loans in my area, letting all these people run my credit, because if you do this right, it doesn't affect your credit other than one hard inquiry. It shows all the inquiries on your report, but when you rate shop using the bank bidding war strategy, at the end of the window, it only weighs on your credit like one hard inquiry. But you got to do this in this small window. Takes 2 days. First one is all of those bank, that's the round 2. So now let's say my best rate from that round 2 is 7.9 interest rate. Okay, round 2's done. Now I'm calling the dealer who won the bid, who has my car waiting. I already reserved it. And I'm saying, okay, my bank or this bank gave me 7.9. If you guys can beat it, I'll give you the business. Now, round 3 starts with the dealer going to work. That's when the dealer's bank. See, the problem is the dealer was your first offer for financing, or one of your first offers. The dealer, when properly done, is our last offer. And so if he came back and at the end of those rounds, 8.99 was the best rate, you wouldn't have a question. You wouldn't be questioning it. You wouldn't be saying, oh, man, how do I get? You would still be considering refinancing because that's still the solution. Whenever rates get lower, you refinance. But you wouldn't be it wouldn't be they gave me that. It would be that was the best rate available at that time. So that's why you need to get bids for future reference. But in your case now, all you can do is find somebody to refinance the loan. And that's what you do. Type in car loan refinance online. Call your bank, call your credit union. Hey, I'm looking to refinance and see if they can be 8.9. Okay. For future reference, though, bank bidding war. Okay. And that's we gotta we need to. I want to get you to the point. You gotta. It's up to you. Use this. Everything I'm telling you is simple. Nothing I'm telling you is rocket ship building. This is all simple online processes from a computer. We got grandmothers doing it. We got introverts doing it. Doesn't matter. We don't even talk. Has anybody heard me say anything about talking? No. We're using online tools to get these processes done. That's why they work for everybody. If you had to talk, then yes, you could mess it up. But this is for the future reference. We want to guarantee that we got the best price. And the only way we're going to do that is with bids on everything. Okay? Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. Great question, though. All right. This one's from TikTok. Can24 Loco. Is a lease worth it if I know I'm going over the miles? You pick your miles. You pick your miles. I had somebody no, I don't even want to talk about him. Somewhere along the line they told him it was okay. So you pick the miles on the lease, and I would never in a million years pick less miles than I need. 10,000 miles per year, 12,000 miles per year, and here's what happens: if you see somebody who's intentionally picking less miles to save $20 and to go from 10,000 miles a year to 12,000 miles per year is probably like $20 a month. To go from 12,000 to 15,000 for most cars is probably another $25 a month. So the difference between 10,000 miles per year and 15,000 miles per year, 15,000, no penalties. Deshone, I know I need 15,000, but I took 10. So you're going to do 15,000 anyway, and you're going to be penalized for the 5,000 per year over at 25 cents a mile. Instead of paying the additional $45 a month, which would be way less than the penalties, because 5,000 miles per year, 15,000 miles over at 25 cents a mile is $3,750. $45 a month times 3 years is $1,620. Numbers are numbers. $45 a month more to my lease contract from the beginning, because that's the mileage I really need. I'm paying $1,620 extra over 3 years to have a comfortable lease experience, no penalties, and I can enjoy my lease. Versus taking 10, knowing I'm going to drive 15, and then looking and saying, Dad, I'm over miles by 15,000 miles, and how can I avoid this almost $4,000 bill that's coming? Choose your mileage wisely. Deal structure. Step 3, I got a whole step in my process on deal structure. This falls under deal structure. So we never take a lease knowing we're going over the mileage. We just never do that. We're setting ourselves up to not enjoy the lease. For what? That's it. Step 3 in my process, I got part of deal structure. I got a section in my book on this, is choosing your mileage wisely, where you look and estimate how much you drive, Or if you have a car, you just look back and say, all right, I drive 12,000 miles per year. You can look back at what you drove. If you don't have a car, then you're just going to look and say, all right, how many miles do I drive to work? Okay, and you add the miles up, and you'll see throughout the year. Oh, plus I'm gonna take a vacation. I want to go down. I want to go on vacation 2 times a year. That's gonna be another 1,000 miles each. All right, perfect. I need 14,000 miles a year. It's a 5 to 8 minute exercise, but you haven't been taught to do it. So there's nothing in my. I don't skip anything because I've been doing this since 2006. I've seen thousands of scenarios working in dealerships, General Motors, Mercedes, thousands. And every time I see something that is horribly wrong, that's costing somebody money, I just made sure I added it to my process. Okay, I'm gonna make sure anybody who listens to me doesn't do that, because this is what happens when they do that. So we got to choose our mileage wisely to actually enjoy our lease. Okay. All right, y'all. Look, we hit 1 hour and 6 minutes. I'm gonna wrap it. I usually try to go like 1 hour and 15 minutes, but as y'all can see, I'm actually struggling to get through this. I need to go and get me some tea, and that's what I'm gonna do. This is our second show for the day, and some of you may be watching us on a rebroadcast, but right now we're live. We've been live Monday, Tuesday, just so y'all know, and I'll probably have a link in my bio by tomorrow to our calendar. But most days we're going live Monday and Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. We're going live at 12 noon Eastern time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So that's when our show is going to air live. And every time you see us on a rebroadcast, we're going to have a sign on the top that says rebroadcast. So y'all know, okay, this is a rebroadcast. In case I couldn't watch the whole show, I was at work. So we rebroadcast all the time. But yes, always a pleasure, y'all. Let's keep winning. Shout out to the people who got my book. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to those who reviewed it, who helped us get to 4.94 on Goodreads.com. I appreciate you, and continue to use the book and continue to unlearn the bad stuff you learned about car buying. If you don't hear me say it, that's because I don't do it. And no one who listens to me does it. You hear somebody say, yeah, I was in the dealership. I was in there like 4 or 5 hours, but man, I was using what Deshone teach. You wasn't using what I teach, because we're not in dealerships more than 30 minutes. 30 minutes, tops. If we in there for more than 30 minutes, you could clearly say, this ain't what Deshone teach, because I'm only here to test drive, or I'm only here to pick up my car if they don't deliver. That's the Cars from Home way. So you can get your book in the bio, 75% off, as long as you didn't miss the countdown. Even if you missed it, it's $97. Great price, but all right. Let me get up out of here, y'all. And always a pleasure. God bless y'all. And make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Tell a friend. All right. I'll see y'all on the next show. God bless you all.
The worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 9. Maybe episode 8. Either way, I'll make sure the right episode is in the comments. But welcome to Car Shopping Questions and Answers. This is our live show. It is Monday. This is our noon show. We want to make sure that you know when we're live and when we're rebroadcasting. So every time you see the rebroadcast, you'll see a badge that says previously recorded or rebroadcast or replay. But whenever you don't see that badge, then you know we are live, and you can engage with us and ask your questions, and we will make sure that we get through as many as possible. So come on in. Everybody just come on in. I'm actually just sharing this broadcast on Facebook now. And on TikTok, welcome. I see you, Claudia. I see you, Dreamer. You guys can start typing your questions in. And let's do a little housekeeping first while we let the first couple questions come in. If you don't know me, this is your first time ever on a live with me, type the number 1 in the comments. I want to give a welcome to the first time people who've never been on a live with us before. And welcome back to the people who've been here before. I'm your host, Deshone. I'm known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. I spent 14 years in the car business with Mercedes-Benz, General Motors, and running my own brokerage. And now what I do is I teach people the science of car shopping from home. I'm the author of Cars from Home, my new digital book, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And everything that I talk about, everything if you've seen any of my social media videos, everything is based on one of the 7 steps in our shopping system. So we don't hold back. So you guys can come in. I see a lot of people on TikTok coming in. Could y'all start tapping the screen if you're going to spend 10, 15 minutes with us? We're usually here for at least an hour. If y'all can start tapping the screen so we can let TikTok know we're about to talk some serious money over here. Frankie, I see you. Good to see you, Frankie boy. Thanks for sharing. Shout out to the sharers. And whenever we have the first question, we will certainly get down to it. Also, if you, all of you do have the opportunity to get my new digital book at 75% off. I always like to let you know about this welcome offer. The book is normally $97 and it's currently 4.94 stars on Goodreads.com. So thank you to all of you who have taken the time to rate the book, to review the book. But most importantly, thank you to everyone who's using the book so that you can stop car shopping like our grandparents. No offense, but most people are shopping the way our grandparents shopped before there was internet, before there was leverage. And my mission is to show anyone who's willing to listen how to stop doing that and how much money that's costing them today. All right. Did we get the first question yet, Dolan? If not, then listen, you know I could keep talking. Okay, here we go. Instagram. Shout out to Instagram. All right. How long should you wait to refinance? It's a good question. I would refinance when it makes sense. If you have rates are high right now compared to where they were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So if you guys are in a higher interest rate than you could qualify for today, then you want to refinance as soon as possible. If you have an 8% rate and you could refinance to a 6% rate, you guys know on this show, if I talk about the money, 2% on a $30,000 loan is thousands. That's not hundreds. So if you have it, on some of you have improved your credit. So you may have had a lower credit score a year or 2 years ago when you got your car, but now your credit score is higher. So you want to make sure you are following this guideline though. Most of the people who want to loan you money want you to take more for longer. That's just what they want you to do. I am of the mindset of you don't want to stretch the loan out long. You don't want to stretch the loan. You don't want to stretch the. So if you've already paid for a year or two, you don't want to stretch the loan out longer because they'll want you to take it longer. They'll tell you right up front, if you take a 6-year loan, your payment's going to be this. Meanwhile, you've already paid for 2 years. Don't fall in love with the new lower payment. Fall in love with paying as much as you can at the higher interest rate. So if you can pay a higher payment for 4 years, pay the highest payment you can to get the loan out of the way faster. Don't be tempted to stretch out the loan and go longer with it. Or else you're falling into that trap. Like I said, people want to loan you money, want to lend you more for longer. They take it for 6 years. You could always pay it off earlier. They're hoping you don't. Okay, so that's typically the rules of thumb that I like to follow. All right. This is from Instagram. Well, this is Luna. I was desperate and just got the first deal. I set a very high payment. Can I refinance for a smaller amount? Luna, weren't you on the show a couple days ago? I was desperate and just got the first deal. I set for a very high payment. Can I refinance for a smaller amount? It's probably going to be early for you to do that. Did you? Hold on one second. If you hold on, let me open the Instagram comments so I could actually see. I know Dolan's bringing the comments to the show, but I want to make sure I could actually see the Instagram comments. Hold on. Okay. So because if you just got the vehicle, I mean, you could try to refinance, but it depends on how high of a rate they gave you compared to what you could have gotten if you would have followed like our bank bidding war process. You bought a brand new 24 Mitsubishi. Okay. Haven't you been on the show, Luna? This isn't your first time, right? You've been here. You've been with us for a couple. You've been with us for oh, it was in December 2023. Okay. I appreciate it. Thanks for the information. That's why I wanted to see the comments so I could actually have the dialogue with you. Yeah, I mean, that's all you could do. You could try and you could try to refinance online. You can go on Google and type in auto refinance online and start to see what those companies look like and see if but you need to know your rate, and then you need to know what the companies that'll refinance you are offering you and see if it makes sense. If you got a higher rate than you could have gotten, then certainly you can refinance. If they got you the best rate that you could qualify, then you may have to wait a little longer, but usually, it doesn't hurt you to check, especially if you're in a considerably high interest rate. You certainly want to see if there's a possibility, because like I said, 2 points, 3 points on an interest rate is thousands of dollars, not hundreds. All right, TikTok, y'all gonna spend some time with us. Can y'all tap the screen and shoot the likes up if you're gonna talk money with us? Here's the thing, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all know I've been this way from day one, and I can't be any other way. I'm considering, and some of you know, I'm gonna tell y'all a story because I'm gonna keep this real, 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 right? So in 2021, we did a podcast. It was called the Auto Advisors Podcast. The Auto Advisors Podcast got 10,000 downloads in the first 90 days, which was a great metric for a new podcast. I stopped it. You know why? Because we're in the way the podcast is, and I'm just keeping it 100% with y'all. I'm never gonna stop doing the information, but if people don't engage with the show, then we'll just keep the rebroadcast going. The rebroadcasts are great. I'm 100 for my lifestyle, for my getting the information out. We do tons of free social media videos. I just don't want y'all to be questioning, Dad, why Deshone not doing the live show anymore? Because the live show needs to make sense. I've been telling y'all to share. I look at the shares. I see the people who come regular. I see not a lot of people share. All good. I just want y'all to know that when you can't ask the questions and you got to just do the rebroadcast, that's going to be the reason why. That's really going to be the reason why. Because we can sit back and we can let this live stream go 24/7. I love it. Dolan runs it. It's great. We sell a lot of books throughout the day. People get their questions answered. It's great. If y'all like Deshone now, I would really like to ask questions and have the opportunity for my family to ask questions and get their questions answered, then y'all gonna have to show up. Y'all gonna have to show up. It's always been that way. Now, we're gonna have information everywhere for you. Free social media videos, my free masterclass is in my link in my bio. But if y'all want to keep this show going this way live and not just see 24/7 rebroadcast, then y'all gonna have to make sure y'all show up. And if we don't see the likes and we don't see the shares, then it's all good. That tells us everything we need to know. because there's nobody out there doing what we're doing right now. So if it was 20 other people doing these shows, then I understand. We got to make sure we're better than them. There's nobody doing what we're doing right now. So it's up to y'all. All right, so Dolan, let's go. TikTok question. Can I get a new lease with no money down and get the same car payment monthly, turning my lease in soon? But that depends on how good you're going to shop. See, if you got, a lot of people are going to be fooled into this conversation. Car salesman calling them saying, hey, I could get you out of your lease, keep your payment the same, and you'll be good. That's the conversation they're going to go for. Now they're going by 2021 and 2020, well, really 2021 payments, which were the highest in history. And what they're depending on is they're hoping that most people don't ask a question. You already been paying this, you already been paying the high payment. What if I could put you into 2024 for the same price? Meanwhile, those prices that you were paying were ridiculously high. All through the pandemic, most 99 probably percent of people were paying ridiculous payments. That's why I always show Bonita. So when you look at Bonita, Bonita is the one who got one of the most popular vehicles during the pandemic. It was a Kia Telluride 2022. She got it for $600 out of pocket, $600 a month. It was like a 1.25% lease. How? Sitting at home and shopping offers. So to answer your question, don't comply. Your deal is going to be based on how well you shop. And what I'm teaching you to do is to stop going into dealers because 80% of them are overpriced. So you're going to go into a dealer, do your test drive, and then you're going to come home and you need to get at least 5 offers. Now you could do it my way. In my book, I have a strategy called the 25 to 5. We go online, we go to the dealer's websites, we put in what we want, 25 dealers' websites. It's a copy and paste template. Then we have conversations by email because out of those 25 dealers, figure about 10 are going to have a car we want. And then we're looking to get 5 to 7 offers. If you shop the right way, you're not shopping the right way if you don't see a $150 to $200 difference between your offers. You're just not shopping the right way because we know I've helped. Personally, we have about 1,600 people in our car shopping course, in my coaching program, and we probably have about 6,000 people who have my book. That's enough data for us to know when people send me their deals, 80% of dealers are overpriced. What's the message then? If you don't get 5 offers, you're going to overpay. Hands down. Not 3, not 4. Now, some people with Charles, if they're shopping for a really hot vehicle, like Charles got a Palisade a little while ago, he got 10 quotes. So he reached out to 35 dealers. But look what he's paying. $48,000, almost $49,000 vehicle, he's paying $597. And both of those deals were no money down. So if he didn't know how to shop, then he would be paying $700, $800. Some of you may be looking and saying, Deshone, man, I got a Palisade and I pay a lot more than that. Or, hey, but that's going to depend on how you shop. You must get at least 5 offers if you're truly going to see the bottom of the market, because 80% of dealers, 4 out of 5 are overpriced. So certainly you could do deals with no money down. It's not even a question. And don't pay attention to commercials, because what you'll see is neither one of those 2 deals that I just showed you were from a commercial. They'll probably, when you look at what a commercial says you can lease a Kia Telluride for, especially or a Palisade for, especially a $50,000 Palisade, it would be a lot higher than this, and it would be with 1,000 down plus tax plus fees. That's why you can't pay attention to commercials. So that's the answer. Don't pay attention to commercials and get at least 5 to 7 offers. If you do it my way, it's quick. Takes about 20 minutes to contact all the dealers, and then you're using my email templates. Because what you got here, this is very important, you guys that are going to have conversations with dealers by email. You must know how to keep the conversation on your terms. You must know how to keep the conversation moving forward when people ask you, hey, can we get on the phone? Hey, can I get your phone number to call you? Hey, when can you come in? You must know how to have the conversation stay on your agenda. That's why I wrote the scripts. But even if you're not using my book and my scripts, make sure you are committed to staying the course, that you're not getting on the phone, you're not coming in, and that you're going to be shopping from home. Okay? Because salespeople will try to get you to come in. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. Okay. Hi, the dealer wants to run my credit card. I just watched one of your videos and you said don't let them do that. They want to run your credit card for what? Let's give Bless the chance to type. Are you purchasing something? They want to run your credit card to run your credit? Or did you mean they want to run your credit? What are they trying to run your credit for? I mean, your credit card for. Now, if you have made a deal with somebody, when we make a deal online, oh, you mean running your credit? For what? What's the purpose of you running my credit? And that's not even what the ad. See, when you request your offers, you're requesting your offers by email. And we're always telling them assume tier 1 credit. There's nothing else for us to focus on. What is the purpose? Now, again, let the 80% do what the 80% do. Lie, tell you stuff. You need to have other dealers in your inbox to know. Sometimes people say, well, Deshone, this dealer said, this one dealer said they don't lease. I said, okay. How many other dealers that you talked to said that? No one yet. Okay. When 80% of them say that, that means they don't lease that car. One dealer, they might be having customers come in, don't know what they're doing. Oh, yeah, no, we don't lease. Oh, okay. Well, I guess how much is it to purchase then? So let the 80% do what the 80% do. When we shop by the numbers, and when you shop by the numbers, you win, because if this dealer lies, the other dealer is exposed that they lied. So one dealer says I can't lease, and then 4 other ones give me a lease offer. Clearly, you were lying. So don't worry about what one dealer says ever. That's why you need to be having multiple conversations at all times. Trying to get my payoff, my car finance. Shoot Jerry's. Can you put Jerry's question up from Facebook here, Dolan? Okay, trying to get my payoff. Thank you, Dolan. My car finance company says contact dealer. Should I contact dealer? What the heck kind of broke leg, half-wit finance company you with if they telling you call a dealer for your payoff? What's the name of the company? What's the name of the company? You got to realize how the banks is in bed with some of these dealers, and you're going to understand that. The dealers couldn't have did Hyundai. Why would they tell you contact the dealer for your payoff? Scumbag. I would call and speak to somebody else. The dealer has nothing to do with the car. If you don't pay that Hyundai, you don't pay your payment for 3 months, is the dealer coming to get the car, or is Hyundai coming to get the car? No, forget about the dealer. The dealer is just a franchise. They're there to sell you the car and put the deal together. Once you drive off, it's between you and the bank. It's between you and the leasing company. So why would the bank be telling you to go to the dealer? It's kind of like they're sending you, all right, so if you're calling for your payoff and the dealer says, oh, well, I'm going to charge you this much and this much and this much, because people will try to get their payoff, or people tried to buy their leases out, which is a terrible idea in most cases, but people were doing it and dealers were charging them a lot of money on top of their payoff, charging them fees on top of the payoff to buy their own lease. So I would call Hyundai and I'd ask for somebody else. I literally try to escalate that. Can I speak to a manager? Can I speak to somebody? Why are you telling me to call the dealer when the dealer is not who? The dealer has nothing to do with the car anymore at all. From the day you bought it, it's between you and the bank. You're the one that I owe. Why can't you tell me my payoff? And I would speak to somebody until I can get somebody on the phone who could give me an intelligent answer. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. TikTok quiet today. Y'all quiet on TikTok, boy. What's going on? Are y'all gonna send questions in? Let's keep them coming from Instagram then. TikTok, y'all usually be the ones sending the most questions. Let's go. What's up, Ron? What's up, James? Let's go. Type in your questions if you want. Let's go. We'll be here for about an hour. Deshone got the ebook. Sent email templates out, got responses, perfect. Using the counter offer calculator, perfect. And they usually, and they either stop communicating or say I have to come in to do any further negotiations. We have scripts for that. We have scripts for that. No, none of the other dealers I speak to have said that. Just go to the script. Every single thing is a script because I know what they're going to say. I had to use those same templates. So always keep the conversation. When you make the last counter offer, it's always a question. That counter offer is a question. So now when they come back and say anything, you look for the script that replies to that and keep the conversation moving forward. You know, once you send the counter offers, now you're just getting to the point where you're trying to see who's the best one. That's it. The counter offer calculator makes counters based on the best offer. So whatever that best offer is, it counters everyone. See, and they may stop communicating because they're already high. So if somebody gives me a 1.1% lease and other people give me a 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, when I counter, I'm countering based on the 1.1. Because once one dealer gives me that type of discount, I know that y'all just choosing not to. That's why if they say, how'd you come up with that number? The script is always, it's a little bit lower than my best offer I have already. So they know you can act like this is the bottom price that you have, but we already have the best offer here. That's why we always put in the offers, and the counter offer calculator creates the counter offer based on the best offer. I don't care if none of y'all reply anymore because y'all already showed me y'all are overpriced. So I'm gonna let you know that based on my counter offer, I know this deal could be done. And if the lowest offer, which may happen, says, look, I don't have no more room, I gave you the best, and I snatched that offer. As long as you got 5, then that's really the bottom. And that's the purpose of the counter offer, is to make sure before you close the deal, you have made a counter to make sure you know where the bottom is. But don't let them respond. Forget it. They probably, oh, he made this low offer. You know you could do that deal, but that's all right. I'll get the car from your competition. All good. All good. All right, next question, Dolan. All right. All right. That might not have any other questions. I have an isolated event. Car was totaled. Check getting cut this week. Can I pay to speak with you 30 to 60 minutes for the single purchase? No. No offense. I've been helping groups. You gotta understand, y'all. Look, I have been helping groups buy cars. Look, let me show y'all something, okay? And I'm saying this so y'all understand, right? Since 2021, this is my private group right here. All right. This is my private group. We have 1,400 people in the group. Now, not everybody who joins us in Maps Academy joins the group, because some people just don't come to Facebook. They'll come on my Zoom coaching calls. But this is how I help people one-on-one. Not even one-on-one. This is how, when you see, can everybody see this? I just want to make sure everybody can see this. This is how I work with people. If you're getting my book, you got my book, you got my strategies. This is what we've been doing. Look at the dates. Look at the dates on these cards. All recent. So I don't work with it. It makes no sense for me to work with somebody one-on-one. I don't have to. The people who have been in my group since 2021, we get to the deals, because there's no situation that you're in that's a special situation. I guarantee you that. It doesn't matter. I've had thousands of scenarios. Nothing that you have is special where it requires this special process. Your car got totaled, you need a car, you're going to follow the 7 steps. That's not going to change. If you don't have a car, you can skip the equity assessment. The rest of the 7 steps apply. It doesn't matter. You think you need a special plan. No, you need a plan. And that's the plan that I have in my book or in my group or what I'm answering here. So you can feel free to ask your question. But your situation, this is very common. There's probably 1 million people around the country in your situation right now. Car was totaled, need a car. Common, very common. I know it's like overwhelming for you, not for me though. Super common. Okay, yeah, check your spam, Jerry. Check your spam or your junk folder. All right, Troop Tip. You see that question from Troop Tep on TikTok, Dolan? Unless you got something before that. All right, another one from Instagram. I'm looking to get an electric vehicle, and I'm not one to keep cars. I'm interested in getting a lease, but don't really know how the process works. You must get bids. You must get multiple offers, or you're going to overpay. Electric cars, doesn't matter. Same process. Bid, exotic cars. When you look at, Sean's getting an electric truck. He probably got it already. But he sent me this message, and he was looking at a $73,000 F-150 Lightning. He ended up getting $20,000 off the truck. Now he's buying it. He's not leasing it. So, Taupe had an electric BMW lease. She got a BMW i4 e-drive, $54,000. She got her bids. She ended up saving $8,500 total with the rebates and the discount. She's paying $690 a month for a $54,000 vehicle. So these deals that you're seeing, these are real deals. These are below market deals. These are not going to be had going into dealers and negotiating because one, you're never going to get that deal from an 80% dealer. It's not going to happen. An 80% dealer will never discount the car enough for you to get the best price. So you don't know. Unfortunately, there's no sign that's on, hey, we're an 80% dealer. Don't come here. There's no sign. The only way that you know is by getting multiple offers. Now, you could do it manually. You can call around, talk to some sales managers, and try to get at least 5 offers. We do it online. We do it with scripts and templates, and that's what's in my book. So if you just jumped on, my new book is called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It has all my templates in there, all my scripts. It's normally $97. But while we're on, for the next 30 minutes, you can get it for $24 if you get to my link in my bio before the 30-minute countdown is up. Once the 30 minutes is up, it does go back up to $97, which is still a great price because everything in that book is going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars. That'll be the most valuable book, but that's only if you want to use my scripts, my resources, and have me do the talking, which is you typing. But if you're going to do the talking, then I would call around and I get at least 5 offers, or you're going to overpay. No doubt about it. At least 5 offers. Okay. You can't calculate a lease manually. You can't try to calculate a lease and think. And even if you can calculate a lease manually, you still don't know what rebates are, what incentives there are. Sean didn't know there was $15,000 in rebates. How did he find out? Multiple offers. The best offer ends up revealing, wow, it's $15,000 in rebates on this truck. He wouldn't have knew that just walking in and trying to see, all right, what's the best deal I could get? 80% deal is never going to tell him it's $15,000 in rebates. So multiple offers is a must. Okay. Go ahead, Dolan. Great question. I'm new to your platform. I joined late. What do you recommend I do? I'm not sure I understand the question. What do I recommend you do about what? Yeah, Troop Tap. Send a follow-up question to that because I don't really know what you mean by that. What are you're new to my platform? Are you talking about this show? Just be a little bit more specific with your question. Let's see if we can get you an answer. Swagger at Instagram says, I have an S550, still owe 40 grand. I plan on paying it off by summer 2025. Should I trade it for an S63? Run a race and start another race. The whole nother race. So you buy a whole car, spend years to pay it off, throw tens of thousands of dollars at it, pay it off, and then go trade it again and do the same thing over and over again. Next time with a higher price car that you will throw more money at. This is the problem. You don't understand leasing. That's the problem. See, there's no way to make that make sense. You still owe 40 grand on the S550. You're trading in your cars while they're still losing value every year dramatically. This is what we call the depreciation curve. If you've been on the show, you've seen it before. If this is your first time, this is how you understand what's going on with your car. This is the unseen expense. So when you buy that S-Class, it's losing thousands of dollars every couple months. And then you're see, there's three kinds of people. People who get great lease deals. Well, I'm not going to say that. People who lease, people who buy and keep long term, and they keep long term so that they can avoid the depreciation. And then there's people who are stuck in this middle right here. This is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, all right here, when your car is losing the most money. So what you do is, see, it has nothing to do with how you paid for it. You can pay cash, doesn't matter. When you take a loan, now you're financing this depreciation and you're losing more. But when you say, all right, I bought this S-Class, now for the next 6 years, it's going to lose tens of thousands of dollars, and then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to trade it. You never get to a point like where you can win for the purchase. See, some of you've been taught paying off the car is the win. No, it's not. Paying off the car is not the win, because if the car is still losing value like this, if this is the way it's still depreciating and you get rid of it anytime while it's like this, you lost. You lost. The key is to keep the car so where the depreciation starts to look like this. So now, if you were here and you had a 10-year-old S-Class or 11-year-old S-Class, maybe it's worth 10 grand. And maybe a year from now, it's worth 9,500. It's not losing that much value anymore. You outlived the depreciation. That's when you win. That's the purpose of the purchase. There's nothing else important about purchasing because it's expensive. There's nothing else important about purchasing. No other benefits, in my opinion, about purchasing other than I can get to the point where I get here. I can pay off the car. What does that matter? It's still depreciating. I'm losing thousands. Now I'm gonna go trade it in, and I'm not gonna get anything for it because I'm replacing the car in its deepest depreciation phase. And I just haven't learned about leasing. I was taught not to lease. So that money you're tying up, when we were in Mercedes, a great deal on an S-Class. A great deal on an S-Class would probably be, they did them a couple times a year, probably could get one for about 13 and change. That was like a great deal, right? So 13 and change, you're talking, dividing that into the MSRP, which was about 110, you're talking, okay, 1.2, 1.25, 1.3% lease on an S-Class, great deal. Now, y'all know I always teach the steal is under 1%. You're really not going to ever see an S-Class lease under 1% unless they just really want to get rid of them, but that's really never going to happen. 1.2, 1.3, 1.5 is the max. You're paying too much for a car you're leasing. But I want to give you a scenario. At $1,500, you're still under what you're paying for your car. See, because if I walked in and I wanted to lease a brand new S-Class, if I lease it and I'm paying $1,400 a month, then I'm driving a $115,000 vehicle, right? Now, if I decide I'm gonna buy that same $110,000, $115,000 vehicle, every $1,000 is about how much per month, everybody, if you know. Some of you seen the video, some of you talk. Every $5,000 on a that you're going to borrow on a loan is about how much per month? $100. Exactly. So when you look at a $120,000 vehicle, 115, that's a payment of $2,300 a month. No money down. See, we don't talk money down because money down confuses you. In a lot of cases, it confuses you. When you look at the deal with no money into it, no money, now you can start to see how much money you've kind of been missing. Evaluate the deal with no money. Then you choose to put money down if you want, but you evaluate it with no money. So now you got a brand new S-Class, great deal on a lease, $1,400 a month. You gotta buy that to purchase the same exact S-Class, $2,300 a month. And then you get people who might be like you, who say, you know what? I ain't gonna get a new one. You haven't learned about leasing yet. You say I ain't gonna get a new one. I'm gonna get a pre-owned one. I'm gonna get a pre-owned one. And you look to get, instead of paying 115 for a brand new one, you look to get it for somewhere probably around 70. You look to get it for somewhere around 70. Every 5,000 is $100 a month. What's 70,000 cost on a payment, y'all? Every 5,000. So you're talking 50 grand, another 20, that's 400, that's 1,400 a month. That's 1,400 a month. So put these numbers together. Great deal on a brand new S-Class. 1,400 a month, leasing it. Great deal on a brand new S-Class, buying it. 2,400 a month, no money going into these deals. Great deal on a used S-Class, 70 grand, 1,400 a month for 5 years. Now, here's where we jack it up. Oh, well, I'll just put some money down. I'll put like 15 grand down. I'm going to take a 6-year loan, God forbid, 7-year loan, stretch the payment out, try to get that payment around 1,000 a month. You don't realize you can't change the numbers by putting more money into it. That doesn't change the actual overall. If 15 grand comes out of your pocket up front, that doesn't change the fact that of the numbers. That's why I break down the scenarios with no money down going into them. So what I would say, if you need to decide if you're going to keep the S-Classes long term, then you should be buying them. If you're going to keep them 8+ years, then you should be buying them. But if you're not keeping these cars 8 years, then you should be shopping for great lease deals because you're just throwing thousands and thousands of dollars away. Same price you paid, same money that came out of your pocket for the last couple of years to drive that used S-Class, you could have been driving and leasing a brand new one. And I know what comes with a used S-Class, brother. I know it. Been with Mercedes. I was with Mercedes 5 years. I know the maintenance. I know the brake replacements. I know the service Bs. I know how much it costs to have an S-Class pre-owned, no warranty, and everything that happens is on you. So we're not even taking into account the maintenance and the repairs that you have to put into that S-Class that you wouldn't need to put into a brand new one that you lease if you just stop listening to people who told you that you shouldn't lease cars. No doubt about it. So that's the best advice I could give you, brother. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. Use your pointers to get a new 24 GB80 Genesis. Salute. Enjoy it, Austin. Great deal. That's what I did. I worked the deal, no money down, got them the low, then hit them with the down payment, plus went and pre-approved. There you go. There you go. See, you're able to understand when you're shopping with no money down, no money going into the deal. Don't show me what anything looks like putting money into the deal. We determine if we want to put money into the deal later. Shop, get the best price on the car. Find the dealer who's going to get the best price on the car. Then we'll work out the finances. Then we'll work out the details. Most people go right to the, all right, what's the monthly payment? All right, what should it, how much should a brand new GB80 be? Depends on who you buy it from. Depends on what they sell it to you for. First things first, we got to find a dealer that's going to sell us the car for the lowest price. Good job, Austin. Congratulations, man. GV80 is a nice vehicle. Enjoy it. How much should CPO normally charge? How much should certified pre-owned normally be charged for Genesis G70? You haven't seen enough of them. So if I'm looking at a used, so example, I got a 2020 Infinity truck that I got year and a half ago. If I went in wondering how much it should cost without knowing, then the market's going to tell me. Now our goal is to get below market deals. So whenever we're getting below market deals, we are always we need to know what the market is first. You can't get below market deals if you don't know what the market is. So when we're getting offers on new cars, it's easy because we can see what the market is with all the offers we get. We get 5 offers, we get 7 offers, we can see what the market is. And we can see the low side of the market, we can see the high side. You got to do the same thing with used cars. And you go on every marketplace, we use 8 of them. We use cars.com, Driveway, Carvana, CarMax. Some people say, oh, CarMax is, if they're, listen, I don't care if CarMax is overpriced 90% of the time. The 10% of the time that they're not, they're going to be in the runnings. You know, it's like Best Buy. I know Best Buy is going to be overpriced for electronics 90% of the time. But when I needed to get an iPad for my wife, Best Buy had the best price. So if these people need to be in the runnings or you're going to overlook some savings. So yeah, we'll look at, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Carfax.com, Cars.com, Auto Trader, Car Gurus, eBay Motors. So we're looking everywhere there used cars. And then we're going to look and we're going to sort by lowest price to highest price to see where the low side of the market is. Then we do our narrowing down. I need to know what the low side of the market is. If it's 24, if it's 4, when I was shopping for my truck, the low side of the market was 30 to 31 to 32. That was the low side of the market. So when I saw it and I narrowed it down based on Carfax. This is how we narrow it down. This is my system. All in my book, all of what I teach, all of my live shows, this is our system. Narrow it down by title history, then service records, then accident history. Then we need to check the original MSRP. Can't get a good deal on a used car without knowing the original MSRP. How you gonna do that? Who's bought a used car in their life? Type the letter U. If you bought a used car in your life, type the letter U in the comments. Anybody who's bought a used car, type the letter U. Okay, Cash, I see you. Andre and TikTok, I see you. Okay, Cash, all right. King of Rap, I see you. Okay, if anybody bought a used car, okay. How you get a good deal without knowing what the car was originally? I gotta tell you, I'm the bad news first person. I can lead you to the good news. I gotta tell you the bad news first, though. Think about that. How am I buying something used knowing how much I'm saving without knowing the original price of the item? 2 reasons. 1, I need to know the original price to know what real discount I'm getting. 2, I need to know what's in the car. So when I narrowed it down to I had 4 Infinities that I had narrowed it down to. They were all white. They were all asking between like 31 and 32, similar price range. This is where we get in trouble at. I pulled the original window stickers of the cars. I see that one of them brand new was 46. One of them was 48. One of them was 52. And the one I got was 54.5, brand new. So I'm able to see the discount percentage. In my book, I call this the true value percentage. This is all that matters when it comes to price. And once you do the check and make sure it's a good car, title history, service records, accident history. Okay, now it's time to get to the money. I need to know what the car was originally. I know 54,000. This one I paid 31.8 for. I got a 42% discount. Now, if I would have took the one that was $1,000 less on the asking price, because I didn't know how to do this. Now I didn't know that one was only 48,000 brand new. So it's a smaller discount. It's probably only saving me 30 something percent. The one I got was 42%. Forget what the dealer's asking. The dealer was asking $1,000 more than the other ones I was looking at. But once I saw what the original price of the car was, I knew that that was the best value because you got the most expensive car brand new. Why would I take a car that has less equipment because they're charging $1,000 less for it? But it has 7,000 less equipment in it, 7,000 less features in it. It's the little things, y'all. It's not the big thing. It's the little things that you're missing. And this is what we do. This is why I'm here. And for those who are willing to listen, we teach you how to do it the right way. These things you haven't been taught to do. And once you hear it, you're like, dang, that makes sense, right? How the heck? Why wouldn't I want to know what the new price was? Don't even know what equipment's in the car. I knew the day I got the car, it was an edition 30. I saw the original window sticker, remote start, all these features, backup cameras all around, black mirrors. I saw all of that because I got the original window sticker. These are the things you must do. And the last thing we do is we verify there's no bogus fees before we go to the dealer. Because some people will be in the lowest prices online, but they have no intention to sell the car for that price. They want you, they're depending on you to come in because they know other people will, untrained, no strategy, walk right in. Hey, I saw the price online. Okay, yeah, sit down, sir. Let me do these numbers for you. Price goes up by $5,000. No intention. So you wasted your time. I'm listen, God bless you. Yo, Deshone, I'll just walk away. I'd rather not walk away. I'd rather you not have to walk away. And when you truly learn the science and the right strategies of shopping online, like I'm teaching you, you won't be walking away because all you lose when you walk away. Still need a car, don't you? Somebody else just gonna buy that car. It's not like you like, oh, I'm gonna put a sign out. Nobody buy this car. They wasted my time. That car gonna sell. So it's best to learn, how can I make sure I never put a dealer in a position to waste my time? Because while you were at that dealer that was overpriced, the best price car was selling. Because the best price cars don't wait online. They 24, 48 hours, they're gone. So while you wasting your time with the fake dealers, the best ones are the car's gone. That was really the good deal. Okay, so you do all of this from home before you go. By the time you go to a dealer to see a used car, you should already know if that car drives the way I want it to drive, the deal is done. This is the best price online. And when I get there, I usually ask for $500 to maybe $1,000 off when I get there. Never over the phone. You have no leverage. Why would I call a dealer that I know, I've done my research, you got the best price car in the market, and call them and say, hey, could you take off another $1,000? No, there's no leverage there. You make sure there's no bogus fees. Then we go. We're there. We test drive. I like the car. Could you do another 500, 1,000? If they say no, you know they're honest. Hey, I don't have a room. Oh, hey, I just put the car online 2 days ago. Like, I haven't even given it a chance yet. I understand. I'll take it. See, you got to know when a deal is in front of you. And that's the problem. You don't have enough information to know when a deal is in front of you. So you're going to hesitate. And you're going to walk away from a deal because you think, oh, nah, dude don't want a deal, man. I asked him to take off $2,000. You can't take off $2,000. You didn't do your research. Because dealers use a tool called vAuto. They know where their car is priced in the market. vAuto tells them where every similar car is priced at online. So if they're the top 3 prices online, they run their business a different way. They want to sell cars fast. You can't go in thinking you're negotiating with someone who marks their cars up by thousands, who's number 15 on the price list. You walk into the best price deal online and think, yo, I'm asking for $2,000, $3,000 off. Let's go. You don't want to negotiate? No, you got it. And when you do your research, you know where the best price is. And that's what I want you doing. I want you walking in, if you're shopping for a used car, knowing this is the best price car in the market. I verified there's no bogus fees. I'm going to drive it, and then I'll ask for a little money off when I get there. And regardless of the answer, I know I won. They split it with me, I won. They can't do anything more because they're the lowest already, I won. If they accept the offer because they're just like, listen, you drove down, man, let's go, let's get it over with, I won. Either way, I win. That's the name of the game. Thanks, Austin. I appreciate you, man. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. Okay. Casa Day, could y'all keep, if y'all gonna spend some time with us on TikTok, can y'all tap the screen and just run the likes up for us so we can get TikTok, so we can make sure TikTok knows we're doing something big over here. They can send some more people over. Appreciate y'all. Yep. Thank y'all. I see them running up. Thank y'all. Every couple minutes, y'all just tap the screen. It just helps the broadcast. We appreciate you. This is from Facebook. Casa de Cel. Hi, I'm paying off a Land Rover. Blue Book says its trade-in is $40,000. That's garbage. So throw that out the window. Blue Book is trash. Blue Book is a marketing website. They don't buy cars. And so what you want to do is you want to get a real number, which is an offer. Your car is not worth what an algorithm says it's worth. Your car is worth what someone's willing to pay you for it today. So you want to go, this is part of our process. We call it equity assessment. There's 7 steps in my book. Once you decide leasing versus buying, that's step 1. Most important question is, am I going to lease or buy? Because you can't get a good deal on a purchase if you should have leased. No way. If you were supposed to lease, because you don't keep your cars 8 years, but you bought, you have a horrible deal. You're going to lose it depends on the price of the car. You'll lose over 10,000 on a higher price car. You probably lose 4, 5, 6 grand on a lower price car, at least 4 grand, 5 grand. So that's step 1. Now, once you decide that, we move to step 2, which is the equity assessment. Equity assessment is any vehicle we have, we need to assess if there is equity in it or what the equity is. And it's based on offers. So when you go to Kelly's Blue Book instant cash offer, not KBB, not Blue Book, instant cash offer, Kelly's Blue Book, you're going to see that Kelly's Blue Book led you astray. In most cases, telling you your car is worth $48,000. Because this is when we begin to expose that Kelly's Blue Book was a marketing website and they would tell you anything. Kelly's Blue Book is owned by Autotrader.com. What they began to do maybe 7 years ago is they begin to buy cars. So they didn't just give you there was a little button on here that says, we'll make you a cash offer. And I would do this with people in the dealership when I was there. They would come in and say, hey, Blue Book said my truck is worth $48,000. I said, oh, really? Well, and I explained to them that Kelly's Blue Book is an algorithm site, but they do have this feature where you can click a button and you go through a nice 5-minute appraisal and they'll make you an offer themselves. So now let's go through this and let's find out what they're going to offer you. And you go through the 5-minute appraisal and they make you a cash offer, and it's usually $2,000 to $3,000 less than what they told you your car was worth. So they'll send you into a dealer fighting for a number that's not real, and you're looking unresearched, unaware, walking out saying, oh, well, I know my car's worth 48. So that's why we don't use them. And again, the offer you're going to get is from them. So it's not even like, well, oh, we don't use Kelly's Blue Book. And then, no, we use Kelly's Blue Book, the instant cash offer tool. And you're going to use that. You're going to use CarMax. You're going to use Carvana. You're going to use Driveway. You're going to use AutoNation, Sell My Car. And you're going to use Car Guru, Sell My Car. And this will take you about 20 to 25 minutes. You're going to get 6 offers because everything we do is a bid. And then you'll know what your car is really worth. That's the first thing. Before you think about what you're going to replace the car with, let's get the real most money for your car. Equity assessment. So do that first. Okay? Yeah, Kelly's Blue Book is trash, but not the instant cash offer tool. But yeah, we would be sitting there and the person will have their printout, like a number like that, 48,000. And then we go right through it and they're like, oh, wait, now they only offer me 45. Yeah, right? So if the people who told you your car is worth 48 is only offering you 45 for it, what does that tell you? Oh, go back to that site that they offered you 48. You see all those banners, see all those marketing banners and ads? Yeah, that's why they need millions of people to come there to have that make sense for them. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Next one. Right. This one's TikTok. Can I get advice on walking in a dealership with a check in hand strategy? Don't walk in with a check in hand. 80% of deals are overpriced, Andre. You can walk in with a check in your hand. If you get somebody who's really good, they're going to take the check. And that's the mission. Get that check out of your hand into our bank account. And if you're dealing with an 80% dealer, you lost. See, again, I'm giving you boundaries so that you can understand. If you break the boundaries, if you choose to go over the boundaries, that's fine. But I've been doing this for a very long time, and everybody that knows me, everyone that's close to me, be it here in New Jersey or be it in my group, they know that I'm the person who helps you save the money on cars. I would put my money against anybody that I'll get a better deal than you. Now, if you're shopping, I wouldn't put my money against any of my people who learn from me. Anybody that learns from me, I wouldn't bet that I could get a better deal than them. If we got the same time frame, we're gonna get about the same deal. But somebody who has no strategy, just shopping, going into dealers, I'll put any amount of money. I bet you $1,000 today that I get a better deal than you without even leaving my house. So I want you to be in that position because you don't know who you're dealing with. If you're in an 80% dealer, they knock off $3,000 for you, $5,000. You think you won? Look, Kimberly. A little while ago, she got a Maserati. Posted this in the group. It was a $91,000 Maserati. She ended up leasing it for $944, but I want to show you the money breakdown. Before she accepted that offer, she had an offer of 20 grand off right here. So she had an offer on an 86. So pay attention to this. $86,000 vehicle, they were taking 20 grand off for her. 20,700 to be exact. She ended up going and getting a $91,000 vehicle for $944 a month. So even a better deal. So she ended up saving more than 20 grand, more than 21 grand. Why is this so important? Because if she would have went in and got excited, she'd have walked into a dealer, walked in, and somebody would have said, all right, listen, I know you're serious. Today only, I'll knock 10 grand off for you. 10 grand. She probably never heard that in her life. $10,000 you're going to take off the price of the car. Yeah, I knocked 10 grand off. All right. Somebody who's not educated, someone who's not researched, rather, someone with no strategy. Let's go. Let's sign that. And telling our friends, you know, they took 10,000 off from me. Until we get 5 to 7 offers, we don't know what the best number is. She wouldn't have saved over 21,000 on her brand new Maserati. So when we talk about this money is not hundreds. This money is thousands. Some of you, if you're buying luxury cars, tens of thousands, 5-figure deals that you are going to just leave on the table. Going in, that's some 1990 joint. Oh, walk in, check in hand. Yo, I got a check. Who wants to sell me a car? 1990. You're doing the same things that someone in 1990 did. Let that sink in. So what do? You stay home, you get offers from home. Now, all of you who are like, Deshone, I want to do it your way. I don't want to have to figure this out. Give me the roadmap. That's my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. All my scripts are in there. My strategies for leases, my strategies for purchases, my strategies for used cars, the bank bidding war, where we make banks and credit unions bid for our loan. We guarantee all the money that we want to guarantee that there was not a dime that we could have saved when we make our car deal. And the only way that's going to happen is through bids. When I sell my car, not trade it, I get bids. When I buy my car, I get bids. When I get my loan, I get bids. You walk in with that check, man, that check won't be in your hand very long. So everybody could get the book for 75% off. It's normally $97. But in my TikTok bio, click the link in my TikTok bio. You won't leave the broadcast, so you could actually come and catch the last couple minutes of the broadcast. But go there as long as you get there before the timer. It's 30 minutes. Once the timer hits 0, it's back up to $97. And if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, we got a link in the comments section for you. If you're watching us on a television, then you can use your camera and you can scan the QR code and it'll take you there. Get your book for 75% off, and you'll have these strategies for the rest of your life. And I also update that book. Some people say, man, is the book available in print? There's too many things that change. I change scripts. I change templates I use, websites change, Vroom went out of business. I need a digital book. I can update the master file so that way you open this book a year from now and it's updated. So you'll see some of you got it 2 months ago and you open it today and you're like, wait, I see something a little different. Yeah, because I update the book regularly. So yeah, get your copy before. And even if it goes back up to $97 and you miss the welcome offer, what are you going to save? What do you really think? How much money do you think you're going to save using my stuff? That's what you should be holding me accountable to. I'm going to get Deshone's book, and I want to save the same amount of money Deshone would have saved on this deal. And when you see these people, Bonita, when you see Kimberly, when you see Sean, when you see Eddie, all these people I share throughout the shows, they're getting the same deals that I would have gotten. But they were just like you. They weren't in the car business 14 years. Frina, she just got this Jeep a little while ago. Look, 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Look, $65,000 MSRP, $579 a month, 0.88% lease deal. I use all the scripts, contacted the dealer, I followed the program, used the scripts, contacted the dealer, sealed the deal. We're in a different world. So you either gonna come over to our world or you're gonna stay in your world. And your world is painful and expensive. Painful and expensive. Spending hours in dealerships, multiple visits, going back twice, 3 times. Painful. Every car deal I make is from right here where you see me at. I'm right here. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up. Austin, I see you. God bless you and everyone online. I have to get back to work. Thanks for checking in, man. Always enjoy the new car too. Because my payment is due in 15 days. Enjoy, man. God bless you. Swagger from Instagram says, it's smart to buy the vehicle after leasing it for 3 years. No, it's a horrible idea. You've already had the vehicle for 3 years. You're buying a used car now. So leasing and purchasing is an entirely different philosophy. When we lease, we're getting great lease deals. We're driving vehicles for pennies on the dollar compared to people who purchase them. All those lease deals. You saw Frina, that same $65,000 vehicle is $1,100 a month. Someone is out there paying, unless they put up a ton of money down, they are out there with that same Jeep that Frina just picked up and they're paying $1,000 plus a month for it. She's paying $579. Why? Because they said they don't lease? Well, you go ahead with your non-leasing stuff and pay double what I'm paying. Now, if you're keeping the vehicle forever, 8, 10, 12 years, in my book, I created the 8-year rule. The 8-year rule is when you begin to win as a purchaser, because that's when the depreciation is going to cool off and make sense. You can get some of this money back because the person who's leasing is killing you. In terms of the money that's not coming out of their household compared to yours, they're killing you. So you now need to try to catch up one day. And if you catch up, the only way you catch up is you keep your car until the depreciation cools off 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 12 years. And that's where you win. You can't do that with a lease. But keeping your car 6 years or 7 years is not anywhere near enough time for you to catch up to a person who leased and got these great lease deals. Because you're paying for the whole car. New car, used car, doesn't matter. A new car, you're paying thousands more than a person who leases. A used car, over 8 years, you're paying about the same money as a person who leases for a used car. So by the time you go and replace that car, if you kept it 8 years, your car's already 11, 12 years old, 13 years old. Person been leasing, been driving brand new cars. So there's no comparison. It's great lease deals are here, long-term purchases are here, and everyone stuck in the middle is just losing thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm sorry to tell you, but if I don't tell you, no one's going to tell you. You buying cars, trading them in 4, 5, 6, 7 years, when they're still depreciating heavily, you're losing compared to people who purchase and keep long-term and people who get great lease deals. You're losing thousands. If you buy your lease, now you're switching and saying, okay, why do I want to buy a used car now? Because that's all buying a lease is. Let's take let's take the aspect out of it that complicates it. When you are buying your lease, you're buying a used car. That is it. Except you don't have to go search for it. It's right there in your driveway already, and that's the only difference. So what makes you say I'm going to stop leasing to buy a used car? You'd have to be saying I'm ready to keep something long term, 8, 10, 12 years. So if you're ready to keep something long term, then buy it. Because you're going to need to be committed to keeping it long term because you've already been driving it for 3 years. You've already been driving it for 3 years. So where are we actually going? You're going to look up in 3 years, 3 more years, and you're going to say, Dad, I had this thing 6 years now. Now, if you're like most people who buy their leases out, you're going to take a 6-year loan. Because in order to get a comparable payment to what you were paying for your lease, you're going to need a 6-year loan. So now you're going to look up that, just so you know, 6-year loan plus the 3 years you leased it, that's 9 years. Same car. Same car. So you're paying on the same car for 9 years. And then you look up in 3 more years and you're like, man, you know what? I'm ready to get out of this. Still got 3 years of payments left. Only scenario where you can pay on a car for 6 years, turn around and still have 3 years of payments left is when you bought your lease. Makes 0 sense. Makes no sense. Unless you're keeping forever. That's a different story. You want to keep it till the wheels fall off, then buy the lease. It's the only way it's going to make sense because you're paying so long on a car, the same car, you better be keeping it long enough to have it make sense. And that's not 5 more years. Your loan ain't even paid off in 5 more years. Buying your lease is a horrible idea for most people. Horrible, horrible, horrible idea. And it's just because what you don't want to shop. You don't want to shop. You don't want to get in the market. Old strategies, you're scared. New way, sitting at home, get bids, let the deals come to you. Because that's what I see. I saw tons of people buy their leases for the last 3 years because they were just scared to shop. Oh, it's not now here. I don't want to. We've been making deals since the pandemic. Deals been out here for people who shop and know how to get deals. So unless you're changing your whole philosophy, I'm stressing to you how bad buying your lease is. All right. This one's Instagram. If I'm searching for a car, but I want a specific trim, should I search the entire market for only that car and the trim level I'm looking for? If I want a specific trim, that's the reason why I use the 25 to 5. 25 to 5 strategy in my book is what we do for new cars and leases. Because when you walk into 2 dealers, it's another reason about not shopping this limited way anymore. If you're shopping from 2 dealers, all you have is what they have. If 2 dealers don't have the trim, you ain't got nothing. When we reach out, we're connecting with 25 dealers online. So if that car is out there, I'm giving 25 dealers. I'm shopping out of 25 dealers inventory. So if no one has it out of 25 or only 1 or 2 have it, now I know that car is just super rare. Or maybe it's about to sell out. Maybe it's like that happens sometimes where like the 2024s are all gone, but the 2025 haven't come in yet. There's only a few 2024s left. But yeah, I mean, we shop wide. We shop wide. Several people who are learning from me and you're getting deals, they drove. A lot of those people that I showed you throughout the show, they drove 45 minutes, an hour and a half to get to the vehicle when they're picking it up. Look at Sean. Sean specifically And this is how important. I'm gonna let someone else tell you why shopping this way is the best. Because he said, look, he saved. I said I said you're saving over 20 grand with the discount and the rebate. But the only way to know is this the best deal is to compare to the other offers. Because again, I don't know if you could look. I sold a Maybach back in 2015. It had a $20,000 rebate on it. So I don't know if the rebates is 15. What if they got a $20,000 rebate on that? Now that was a $260,000 vehicle, but still, you just never know. So I said, if you're gonna compare it, you're gonna compare offers. He said, yes, I got about 15 quotes. He said I couldn't find anything under MSRP. He ended up expanding his search to 150 miles to find this deal. So he's driving probably 100 miles somewhere. I doubt it's all the way 150 miles, but maybe he's driving 100, 120 miles. But look what he's saving, 20 grand. So we don't do local because you only buy your car once every couple of years. So you buy your car from who makes you the best offer. You service your car from where it's the most convenient. Yeah, we drive to get our deals because most of the time the dealers that are near you, they feel like they own you anyway. So when they see the zip code, they think, oh no, we don't have to make, this person's local. This person's 20 miles away. No, we're not gonna do nothing crazy. But when those people who are 100 miles away from us see us pop up on their computer, and they're like, oh wait, we could take a deal from our competition. All right, let's do this. Sometimes they'll beat the deal that your own local dealer won't get. Your local dealers are charging you the most money. Local dealers are hands down most of the time charging you the most money. Everybody close to you, because they just like you close. You ain't gonna shop. The statistics show you shop 2 dealers before you make a deal. That's what the statistics show. Look, right here. Let me show you something. When I tell you, look, no offense, I wouldn't be trying to help you if I could, but I gotta keep it real to you. This is all stuff we know about you. Look, how many dealers does the average person visit before buying? 39% future car buyers plan to visit at least 3. They won't, because the actual statistics show 4.2 websites a person visits, and then it's 2. It's actually 2. Hold on. Let's see where it's at. Only 1 in 3 potential. The answer's 2. I ain't got to tell y'all. People say, oh, I plan to visit 4 dealers. You ain't visiting no 4 dealers. You're going to get tired. Time you get to the 3rd one, you're going to be like, okay, this is getting old fast. I think we could get it over with. 2 is the answer. So if the industry knows that you visit 2 dealers before you make a deal, why would I give you a great price? So when you're using what I'm telling you to use and you're sitting at home and you're talking to 25 dealers, you have 25 dealers in your inbox. When you're sitting at home and you're looking at all the used car market in a 150-mile radius of you, oh, now you're not the normal shopper. The normal shopper is going to get the normal deal, market value or over market value. That's what normal shoppers get, depending on how bad you are, over market value, depending on how unaware you are. But market value, over market value, that's normal. People with strategy, multiple dealers getting bids, below market. That's the difference. We shop wide. This local is dead to us. Local is dead to us, and it should be dead to you. I want you to kill it. All right, kill that whole mindset. I don't need to buy my car locally. I'll drive into the next state. I remember Shonda last year, California. She bought a Volvo, and she said to Sean, she's in our group. She said everybody in Northern California. She said my best deal. I think she was saving like $3 grand off MSRP. And she's like, but it's a dealer in Southern California, though, that's taking like $6 grand off of me with my Costco rebate. I said, okay, what you gonna do? She said, I just bought a plane ticket, $79. I said, there you go. That's what I would have did. That's a sweet plane ride. I'm taking a plane, $79 to save 3 more grand than my local dealer was gonna give me up here. Sweet plane ride. So local's dead to us. We go where the money is. And we enjoy that ride home. Nothing like driving home for an hour knowing you just saved a ton of money. So that's it, y'all. We've been on for about an hour and 15 minutes. We like to keep these shows right around there. In my bio, I do have the link to when I'm going to be live next. So I'll make sure that, as long as we keep doing these live shows, again, it's going to be up to you guys. If you guys continue to show up, if you guys continue to tell your friends, then we'll keep doing the shows. But if not, we can certainly do the broadcast, because the broadcast, people get value out of them. So we've seen it, for the last 3-4 weeks since we've been testing this, we've seen people get value out of the rebroadcast. So what's the point in Deshone coming live regularly if people are going to sit and watch the rebroadcast? So, but if y'all going to tell people when we live and bring people and share, then certainly we'll keep the live shows going. But the entire show is sponsored by my new digital book, Cars from Home. So if you want everything I teach in one place, you got it right there. We don't hold back on this show. We don't hold back in my social media videos. That's why they're, thank God, continuing to be seen by millions of people. But that's for different types of people too. So whenever you're navigating all my social media videos and you're trying to piece it together, some stuff is in there for high mileage drivers. Some stuff is in there for used cars. Some stuff's in there for leasing. Some stuff's in there for negotiation. Some stuff's in there for how to format your deal. So you're trying to piece all this stuff together. If you say, Deshone, I want this all in one spot, step by step, that's my new digital book, Cars from Home. 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. And you can get it for 75% off in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, or in the comment section on Facebook and YouTube. Also in my bio is a link, and we'll put one in there in the comment section as well, is a link to my masterclass that I did. It's called Everything You're Doing Wrong Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars. So that's an on-demand class. You'll need about an hour. We go very deep on leasing versus buying there with scenarios. And I go over 23 mistakes that most of you are making. And, if you're going to really save money on your next car and every car, you're going to need to stop making those mistakes. So that is in my TikTok bio and my Instagram bio as well. And you can certainly just get in where you fit in. I make the information available. Get it how you want it. Just get it. All right. I'll see y'all on the next show. God bless you.
The worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
What's going on? Welcome, everybody. This is episode 9 of Car Shopping Questions and Answers. I'm your host, Deshone, publicly known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. We're live now on 4 platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And this is our live show. It is Tuesday at noon. We do these shows throughout the week to make sure when you are ready to get car shopping information that no one else is going to give you, you know where to come for it. So you guys can start typing your questions while I take care of the housekeeping. We have Dolan in the background who'll be bringing your questions in. Shout out to the people running the likes up on TikTok. Appreciate y'all tapping the screen. I'm the author of the new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And I feel it's only right to start this show with 2 reports I got, which were great. I had somebody write us and talk about the deal they got on this 2024 Mazda CX-90. MSRP was $44,820. They got a $6,500 discount from home. Shout out to you, Tiffany. I appreciate it. This is what we do. And when we think, when we launched this live show a few weeks ago, my plan was my prayer rather was that people would take the book, use the book, write me your success stories so we can feature you here and feature your deals. These are below market deals. These are not advertised deals. And she got this by handling the process from home, getting multiple offers like we teach. We also had Barrett write his review on Goodreads. So we were 4.94, almost 5 stars. Book is outstanding, a must-have for anyone seeking to buy, lease, or even sell a car. It's presented in a very professional, easy-to-follow, step-by-step manner that covers every situation from buying, leasing, cash, credit, good, bad. Although I've purchased and leased several cars in my lifetime, I learned new tactics to obtain the best value for my money, and it even has a wish list, yes, to help you separate your wants from your needs. Come on, Barrett. Appreciate you so much. Everybody who wants to get your copy of Cars from Home, it's normally $97, but for the next 30 minutes, you can go to my TikTok bio or my Instagram bio, or we have a comment pinned for you guys on Facebook and YouTube, and you can get your book for 75% off. So you won't pay the normal $97. You'll pay $24. But once that timer hits 0, your price is $97, which is still a great price. So now that the housekeeping is done, we can start with the questions. And if you got the first one, Dolan, feel free to bring it in while I put the banner up for those who want to get their book. Okay, is it better to shop online or in person? Well, you have no leverage in person. In person, you're competing with a person who negotiates every day, 2-3 times a day throughout the week. You're no match. I don't care how good you think you are. The best trained professional is just going to be better than you. And that's because they do this every day. Now, the second reason it makes no sense for you is because from a leverage position, you can't put them against their competition. You don't know where the real bottom is. And so you're going to overpay. And even if you get a good deal, who's done this? Be honest. You leave the dealership and you're like, you think we did okay? You think we could have got a little bit more? Think we could have got a little bit more off? That's called buyer's remorse. That's the seeds of buyer's remorse. Anytime you wonder if you could have got more money off, that's buyer's remorse. So we never wonder, and the way you don't wonder is by shopping online, getting multiple offers from multiple dealers, letting people compete for your business, and then choosing the best one. And if you really think about this, this is how you shop for everything in life. This is how you shop in the grocery store. When we go into the grocery store, we're not looking to try to not overpay for the spaghetti sauce, right? We're not looking at hoping that we don't overpay for the grapes today, or let's use for the potato chips we're going to buy, because we already know there's so many options and there's so many people that are competing against each other to sell us something. And that is how you guarantee your best deal, when you have multiple people competing. So when you are leasing a car or buying a car, you need to get at least 5 bids. When you are buying a used car, you need to be shopping wide. You need to be shopping within 75, 100 miles of you. And that's a minimum. And then you need to be looking at all the websites that have used cars, so that by the time you make your decision, you've seen so many options, so many offers, that you have 100% peace of mind. Now, that's just when it comes to buying the car. When it comes to replacing your car, because some of you know there's a word we don't use, it's a T word. It's 2 words we don't use. One is trade, one is down payment. Because we sell our cars, we don't trade. You never get the most money for something trading it. I don't care what you have. You got a baseball card, You trade that baseball card for something, you're not getting the most money for the baseball card. How do you get the most money for the baseball card? Put it on the market. Put it on the open market and let the buyers come to you and see what the best offer is. Never going to be from a trade. Now, the only time we do have to trade is if you're in a negative equity situation. If you're in a negative equity situation, then, and you have too much negative equity, you're going to need to do a trade if you can't pay the difference. But other than that, you know, these are the things that these are the things I want you to etch into your mind. We don't trade, we sell, get bids. We get, when we get our loans, we get bids. And when we buy our cars, we get bids. That's how we guarantee that we get the below market prices that other people aren't getting. Okay? Go ahead, Dolan. If you got the next question, shoot it up. Okay, this one's from Instagram. What fees are included when you buy a car from out of state? I mean, if you're buying a car out of state, standard fees are, if you are purchasing a car, purchasing, not leasing, standard fees are tax, documentation, DMV. Tax, documentation, DMV. I've worked for a handful of dealers in my life. I've never once had fees that were outside of those fees. Never once. Shout out to y'all running the likes up. Could y'all keep running the likes up on TikTok? And shout out to the sharers. You know we appreciate you. Thank you for sending your friends. Thank you. Listen, you should at least be tagging your best friend. Whoever your best friend is, and hopefully we all have at least one. That's the person you should be tagging. They'll thank you. No one's gonna get mad at you for sharing my stuff with them. I guarantee you that. But shout out to the sharers. I appreciate y'all. So when you are, so that's an indicator. Any dealership that is making up these fees that have run rampant over the last 4 or 5 years, prep fees, marketing fees, internet fees, low jacks, we call that padding the deal. You know, you're just packing on stuff, and what you're doing is you're leaving yourself room to negotiate. We don't like to buy from those dealers because those are 80% dealers. I saw somebody ask yesterday on the show, what's an 80% dealer? We didn't get a chance to get to that question. 80% of dealers will overcharge you. It's a competition. So what you're trying to do is find the dealers who are the best prices. And the 20% are the great people. They're the honest ones. They're the ones who are not afraid to compete. These are the people we want to buy cars from. And so once you find the honest dealer, but you can't walk in to find them. You have to sort for them. Because if me and you are standing next to each other on the street and there's 10 dealers in front of us, and they say to us, 8 of these dealers are overpriced. 2 of them are the best price, but there's no label on them. What's the odds that we're going to walk into the 2 that are the best price? Not really that good, right? But if we're at home and we're talking to all 10 of those dealers at once, we're going to reveal who the 20% is. So that is our goal. Our goal is to always find and buy from the 20% dealers, and we let them come to us through online bidding, through online shopping, never through walking in and dealing. Because if you're dealing, as I said, with a dealer who has padded that deal so much, you go look at that deal and there's $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in made up fees to pad the deal. There's no amount of discount you can get where you're going to get a below market deal. They've just set it up that way. I could take off $5,000 for you, make you think you won. You're still not below market. So that's the psychological things you have to understand. And that's why we shop from home. All right, shoot the next one up, Dolan. Great question. All right, good question. I see Instagram coming through with some great questions today. Keep typing your questions. TikTok, if my lease is expiring, can I go finance a new car? Is there equity in my lease? Well, the first thing you need to do if you decide, well, first of all, you got a little switched up there. It sounds like you're trying to go from a lease to a finance. That's not usually normal. What's normal is you go from a finance to a lease. Because a lot of you who found out that you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you're breaking the 8-year rule, you're overspending by thousands of dollars because you were taught never lease. So a lot of you have found out over the last couple weeks of shows, or maybe you watch videos, or maybe you went to my masterclass and you found out that that was bad advice. Not only was it bad advice, it was very expensive. It has cost you more money than you should even calculate. It doesn't do you any good to calculate how much money you lost not leasing when you're not a long-term person. But that's the more common path, finance to a lease. To go from a lease to a finance is a different mindset. You go from getting cars, paying a very small amount to drive brand new cars, and then transitioning to a finance. So first step, my process is 7 steps. The first step is always to choose leasing versus financing. Good. Thank you, Mr. Silva. I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody tagging on TikTok. Appreciate you. That's the first step. I call that the most important question. So for everybody's on here who's car shopping, if you're car shopping now or you will be in the next 12 months, type me in the comments. Everybody who is car shopping right now, or you're going to be car shopping in the next 12 months, type me in the comments. And I'm going to give you the first word. And I want y'all to always, when you come on this show, be prepared to dialogue. Like, be prepared to dialogue. Have your hand by your keyboard. You're going to learn a lot more engaging in the dialogue than you will sitting back and just listening. Active learners learn better than passive learners. Okay? So now, all of you who said me, I want you to ask yourself, how many years are you keeping the next car? Because this is the lease versus finance question. This is the lease versus buy. I'm not going to say finance because some of you are going to pay cash. This is the lease versus buy question. How many years are you keeping the next car? Gary said forever. Okay, there we go. So that's a good indicator till the wheels fall off, Joseph on Instagram. I see you. Okay, here's the question. 72 months. Okay, that's 6 years. You shouldn't be buying, Frankie. And I'm going to tell you why in 1 second. As long as it lasts. Now, when you want to try to get a little bit more specific than that, because sometimes you'll buy a bad car. It only lasts 5 years, where if we know we're going to keep this thing long term, we want to make sure we buy a car that's a quality car. That's what we want to make sure that we do. Buy a car that's a quality car. All right. So let's do, okay. So all of you, if your answer, I see you, Andrew, you 6, I see Teresa 10. Okay. Now, here's the rule. I call this the 8-year rule. The 8-year rule is based on when cars lose the most money. So it's not based on, see, some of you have been taught you pay off your car, get the title, do whatever you want. You want to trade it in, do what you want. I'm here to tell you that that's cost you because you don't understand the unseen expense. And the unseen expense is the one that's hurting you. That's depreciation. So the first thing you're trying to get when you're deciding I want a car is, how am I going to avoid big depreciation? Big depreciation. You buy a car for $30,000 today. What is it worth in 3 years? Even if you don't drive it. See, this is these are the things that you've been, oh, well, I want to buy a car. I drive as much as I want. But even if you don't drive a car, if I sat a car right outside your house right now and said, Lily, this car is worth $30,000, and you said, Deshone, I don't need a car. I already got a car. And I said, but it's yours. Here, it's yours. It's worth $30,000. You don't drive it. You come back a year later. What's that car worth? Told y'all, stay by the keyboard. What's the car worth? See, we're going to dispel this myth right now, because some of you don't understand, because of what you've been taught, that you think, oh, if I buy a car, I could drive it. I don't pay for the mileage. I'm going to show you that not only do you pay for the mileage, you pay even if you don't drive it. See, look, Alvin said 24. Look, didn't drive it 1 mile. Days on Instagram said 24. Look, didn't drive it 1 single mile. That's probably accurate. So think about that. If that's many people will mention depreciating assets. That's a very common word, but we're now going deep on what that actually means. Depreciating asset means I purchase something, I acquire something, whether I use it or not, it's going down in value. If I use it more, it goes down in value more. So the first foundation that you need to get is leasing versus buying. This is why if you don't lease, but you should have leased, there's no way to get a great deal. Because when you get great lease deals, some of you seen Danielle. Danielle got an Audi A3, $44,000 car. She's paying $550 a month, no money down. So that's Danielle. So when you consider what that deal would, what that car would have cost her if she purchased it, no money down, probably would have cost her about $900 a month. $900 a month. Every 1,000, but every 5,000 is about $100 a month, depending on interest rates. 5-year loan. So foundation. So what you're trying to do is avoid the depreciation. Y'all know when I break this out, y'all know what this means. Some of you, if you're new here, you may not know, but this is what this means. This is how your car loses value year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, but then it starts to level out. And what you want to get to, forget paying off the car. You could have paid cash for it. Doesn't change this. Deshone, I got a loan on it. Doesn't change this. This is the actual asset value. This is the car's value. Forget the loan that's attached to it. This is the car's value. So your goal in purchasing, if you want to avoid this, see, some of you buy cars, trade them in here. Trade them in here. That's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You're trading the cars in when they have lost the most value. And that's a losing formula. Now, there's 2 ways that we avoid this. One is long-term ownership. Who has a car outside? They've had it for more than 8 years. More than 8 years. Type me if you have a car in your driveway or in your household, you've had it for more than 8 years. Type me. I see you, Gary. Okay. Okay, I see you, Sergio. All right, more than 8 years. I see you, Twill. Now, this is where you win. Here's why. Your car is no longer losing value like this every year. Now it's only losing a little bit. Now it's only losing a little bit. You beat depreciation. See, the goal with a purchase is to beat depreciation, not pay off the car. You could pay off the car and still lose to depreciation because you replaced the car in the early life cycle. So if you are not buying the car with the intent to keep it long term, 8 years, there's no comparison to a person who's leasing. So there's 2 sides. One is the people like Danielle. One of the people who are like, Deshone, I'm not keeping a car 8 years. You should be shopping for aggressive lease deals, not normal lease deals, below market lease deals. That's what I teach. Or you should be purchasing, getting great deals, below market deals on purchases, new cars, used cars, with the intention to keep them long term. That's it. So that's all step 1. I call that the most important question. That my book is broken down into 7 steps. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealership. Step 1 is the most important question. That's what we just hit on. It's the leasing versus buying, because you need to pick a side and you need to have a long-term plan based on what side you're picking. You can't be stuck in the middle. Stuck in the middle, you're going to lose all the money. You lose all the money stuck in the middle. Purchasing cars, flipping them in 3, 4, 5 years, you're losing all the money. Buying your leases out at the end, you're losing all the money because you're mixing the 2. Lease or buy long-term. This in the middle right here, that's the danger zone. Everybody clear on that? If we're clear, type clear. If we're clear, type clear. All right? This is Monday's live show. But wait, what day is it? This is Tuesday. Tuesday's live show, 12 o'clock. So whenever y'all don't see the banner on the show, then you know it's live. If you see the banner that says when we're live, then you know it's one of our rebroadcasts. But if you don't see the banner, that means we're live and you can start typing questions. All right, clear. All right, everybody's clear. Now let me hit the second part of Frankie's question. Okay, and for those who just came on, everything I teach is out of my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home. And you all can get it for 75% off. It's normally $97, but in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, and in the comment section on YouTube and Facebook, we put the link there for you so that you can get your copy for it. You won't pay the normal $97, but you only got 30 minutes. It's a welcome offer. Once that clock goes down, to 0, your price is $97, which is still a great price. You saw how much money Tiffany just saved on her new Mazda, just using what's in the book. Saved herself, I think, $6,000. So go ahead. Oh, no. So, and then you move into the equity assessment. So once you decide, Frankie, which you already said you're only keeping the car 72 months, you should not be purchasing. Because if you purchase, we already went to what's going to happen. You can't win keeping that car 6 years and then replacing it. So you should now be doing your equity assessment, which is calling your bank, get your payoff, and then you're going to go to the cash buying websites. Don't use algorithm sites because they're worthless. Car Guru, Sell My Car, CarMax, Carvana, Driveway, AutoNation, Sell My Car, AutoNation, Sell My Car. 6 offers, 3 are from dealers, 3 are from online buyers, and these are the best offers you're going to get. They'll cut you a check the same day. That's our bidding system. That is how we do our equity assessment. We do not trade our cars in because we're not going to get the money that they're worth trading, which I hit on earlier. All right. I know we got a lot of questions being typed. Dolan, you can shoot the next one in. Okay, this one's from Instagram. I'm looking to lease a GLS 450. Does Mercedes have any third-party restrictions on selling your lease? So I wouldn't concern myself with that. I'm going to tell you why. That's like trying to think about the purpose of equity on a lease is a bonus. Shout out to y'all running the likes up on TikTok. Appreciate y'all. If y'all could keep tapping the screen every couple minutes, if you could just give it a little tap, tap, tap. That just keeps running them up. Just every minute. Every time you hear something and you're like, oh, that was good. Tap, tap, tap. And it'll just keep the likes running up. Keep TikTok notified of what we're doing over here. So you never want to base the car you're going to lease on if it's going to have equity at the end. The benefit of leasing is driving cars for pennies on the dollar compared to what people purchasing them. And you're avoiding depreciation that people purchasing the vehicles are going to take. That's the benefits of leasing. Now, there's a lot of other benefits too. I mean, you're driving a new car. You're under warranty most of the time. Depends on how many miles you drive. So if you drive, 12,000 miles a year, most bumper to bumper warranties cover that. If you drive 15,000, maybe you won't have a little bumper to bumper at the end, depending on what you choose. Mercedes has a 4-year 50,000 bumper to bumper. But the benefits of leasing are what I just laid out. Equity is a bonus. We don't want to look, equity is not something we ever want to base the vehicle we're going to lease off of. It just doesn't, it's too many market changes that could affect it. A car could have high resale values now, and then in 3 years it doesn't, which means any equity will be eliminated because of the 3-year-old used car market. So you don't want to shop like that. You don't want to shop like that. Focus on, and what I teach in my book is you're going to pick 3 vehicles. Good to see you, Judith. You're going to pick 3 vehicles because leasing, it's so easy to get a great deal purchasing. So easy. On a new car, forget about it. The bids, forget it. We're going to find the 20% dealers. In my book, I have all the scripts because I don't want you talking. Who'd rather get great deals without talking? Be honest. Who's not a good negotiator? You're not a good negotiator. Type not me. Like you just be honest. I don't ever want you to put yourself in a position where you need to talk. And if you start talking to somebody who's trained to talk and dissect and get information and then tailor a deal, you're going to lose. So in my book, everything is silent. The only people we talk to when we talk to people are managers, because those are different conversations if we need to have them. We're never talking to salespeople besides when we're coming on to test drive the car. We're never talking to salespeople because we just don't know who we're dealing with. So when we're online, we're always typing. That's why I say go online. My strategy is called the 25 to 5. We go online and we contact 25 dealers, go to their website. I have copy and paste templates in there that you just fill in what you want. But if you're going to do it your way, that's fine. But I'm telling you, you don't want to deviate from this format because you're going to get yourself in trouble and you're not going to get the results. You want to be able to connect with a large amount of dealers so that you could get 5 offers, at least 5, because 4 are going to be overpriced most likely, but 1 is going to beat everyone else. So, but when it comes to a lease, there is the lease program. that the dealer can't control. So if we don't know what a lease program is until we shop offers. So there's no way you can look at the residual value. You can look at all this money factor. I know some of you who are in the math, you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna just look at the money factor and see. You can't tell because it can have a high money factor, but it have some good rebates. The only way we know a great lease deal is to shop the market, get our offers, and then if the lease program, if the best offer doesn't get you under 1.5% with no money down, then it's a bad lease program. It's a bad lease program. In which case, we move to another vehicle. So I'm not going to ever co-sign leasing a bad vehicle a vehicle with a bad lease program. I've had all types of people hit me, Deshone, I'm looking at this Range Rover, man, but I did all the offers, and they'll be in the group. We have a private group, and I get to talk to people all around the country about this stuff. So they're like, Deshone, you think I should move on? I'm like, look, you could wait till next month, see if the program gets better, but I'm never going to co-sign signing a bad lease deal. You're paying too much money for a vehicle you're giving back in 3 years. So you're defeating one of the major benefits of leasing. So that's the only reason why we have to have 2 other vehicles that we like when we're leasing. On a purchase, no. One vehicle, pick it, get your bids. One dealer is going to blow everybody else away. But with a lease, you want to have 3 vehicles just in case it's a bad lease program. And if they got a bad lease program this year, maybe in 3 years when your lease is up, they'll have a good lease program. So that's what we do. It's too many cars out here. It's 400 cars out here. 40-something manufacturers competing for our business. Why are we going to get locked on one car? And the reason we're doing this, y'all, is because we're not shopping. You're not shopping. You're not taking the going out for the weekend and test driving cars seriously. You're about to drop 40 grand of your hard-earned money. You need to be, like I teach, shopping and not letting anyone disturb your shopping. If I'm looking for a car, I'll take a whole Saturday and go out or a Monday, and I'll go out and I'll drive 4 cars and be like, okay, that was fun. Don't sit down and don't talk numbers. So let me make that clear. Don't go in there and sit down at the desk and start talking numbers and get a proposal. No. Shop. Once you decide what you want, then we come home and we get our offers from home. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. All right. When you don't talk, I see a lot of you saying you're not good negotiators. Then you just got to stop talking. Stop talking and start making people bid. You're going to get better deals than good negotiators all day long. Heard you loud and clear on the rebroadcast. I'm here live. All right. Welcome, Jill. Looking for a car now. Profited on a sale, so coming in clean. Need to rebuild credit. Lease cheap car, finance car under 5-6 grand. It depends on where your credit is. If you're in the mid-6, I teach something called, profile over score. So if you have a paid off car, if you have nothing gets you approved for a car like on-time car payments. If you've been making on-time car payments for 2 years, 3 years, you're typically gonna get approved for most leases. As long as you're not going from like a $450 payment to a $900 payment. But if I'm in a state where if I'm in that mid-6s, 660, 670, I go for the lease. If I'm in the low 6s, then I go for what I call a smart car, which is the car to set you up to lease. So your goal is to get the least expensive car you can get a loan on, quality car. You want to go small as possible, and small as possible for you might be you need a sedan. You might need 3 rows. But I teach something, and that's what we were talking about when I posted that review that Barrett wrote for our book today. He was like, we get a wish list for needs versus wants, because oftentimes we confuse these. Needs are things you can't live without. I need to have this, or the car's not going to do what I need it to do. I need to have it. Wants are things that you'd like to have, but you can live without. When it comes to getting a smart car, and it's not the little smart car, y'all. I have a different. That's a different meaning for us. It means saving money at the right time. That's what we call smart cars. Saving money at the right time. So if you can't qualify for a lease and you want to set yourself up, then the vehicle you get now is super important. The vehicle you get now could either set you back from leasing because you bought too much vehicle, payments too high. You didn't buy a dependable vehicle. It's not going to last. It's going to start having problems. It's going to break down. You might miss payments because of that. These are all the things you want to avoid. This is why I'm giving you these boundaries that you don't, kind of go off of. But this usually happens when you're trying to get too much car. Quite honestly, if I was trying to get a smart car, I would be trying to get the smallest car I could, drive it for 2 years. Let the family be uncomfortable. Listen, y'all, I know it's tight, but in 2 years, I'm gonna get out of this and I'm gonna drive off the lot in a brand new lease. So the key is the payment's gonna be low because those smaller cars are only 25 grand new, 28 grand brand new. When you get them used, you could get a nice one for about 10. Finance it. You don't have to take a 10-year-old one. So you want to get one that's relatively, good. It needs to last you 2 years, or the plan's messed up. So you get the smallest car you possibly can. You drive that 2 years. That's your sacrifice car, and then you flip out of that car. Well, after you have 2 years of on-time payments, you flip into a brand new lease, and then you're leasing new cars from now on. That's what I do, depending on your situation. If you're high sixes, mid sixes, and up, I go for the lease. If you're under that, then I would go for the smart car. Okay? All right, keep me posted. Good job. Just having a plan. Having a plan. Go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan. I forgot to tell you. Yeah, I see you, Jill, and keep that up. This is a different Jill, I think. This is a means to my dream car. I'm a patient. Yeah, I'm patient. My husband has the needs car. There you go. There you go. You can flex in 2 years. You can flex in 2 years. You do this right. You drive this car for 2 years. You don't miss any payments. Make sure when you're buying a $10,000 car and you finance it, payments are $250 a month for 5 years. You don't have to take a 6-year loan. You don't want to take a long loan on a smart car. You want to take a shorter loan, pay $250 a month. Now you're not going to miss those payments. Max at 300, depending on the interest rate, could go higher, 325. But the point is that's affordable. So it's not going to mess up the plan versus you trying to pull out in a $25,000 used car with a high interest rate. Now your payment's $575 a month. You get what I'm saying? So just stay focused, stick to the plan. All right. This is another Jill from YouTube, I believe. Buyout is, go ahead, keep that one up. Oh no, I saw that one. Get the one you just had up, Dolan, from the other Jill. Yep, thank you. So buyout is $36,000 on my 2023 Audi Q5. I want to lease a Range Rover Sport. Should I sell on my own or turn into the dealer? Doesn't look like, and I'm just going to tell you, this is not usually when we do an equity assessment. Now, if you can get out, break even, great. You're driving a 2023 Audi Q5. I don't know who told you that you could switch cars that fast, but it doesn't happen that way. And so the only time in history that we've been able to switch cars that fast is when there was a once in a lifetime seller's market, 2021, 2022, 2023. Once in a lifetime. Chip shortage, every single car was worth 5,000, 7,000. To some of the trucks were worth 10 to 15 grand more than they would normally be worth. Now, I told people back in 2020 that 2021 that was going to come to an end, and don't get used to this. But I told everybody who would listen, you need to cash out now because your vehicle is never going to be worth more today, never going to be worth more than it is today. But that's over. So if you may have cashed out, some people, you sold a car. If you sold a car back then, you can type, type dollar signs. If anybody sold a car from 2020 to 2023, and you got crazy value for it. Some people were like buying cars, and 2 years later, they got all the money back. I did that twice. I leased a brand new Jeep, 2018, and I sold it in 2021, and I made $8,900 after I drove it for 3 years. And my mother, I helped her sell her Mazda CX-5. She was a low mileage driver, and I helped her cash out. She made $10,200 after she drove it for 3 years. Made a video. I recorded her and my dad. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe that they drove a car for 3 years, turned around and sold it, got every single dollar they put into it back. And he was like, all right, man, I'm looking forward to doing this again. I said, Dad, this ain't gonna happen again. So enjoy it. You were part of a once in a lifetime market where you cashed out and you won. But we cannot base our strategy anymore off that. That's over, and you'll get in trouble financially trying to do this. So there is no setup where you could buy a car or lease it and in a year, 18 months, trade it, replace that car. Just not. Because we already talked about earlier, let's take a $50,000 car. A year later, if you don't drive it 1 mile, what's it worth? Didn't drive it 1 single mile, just parked it right outside your house. 43, 44, max, absolute max. So when that car is losing value like that, whether you bought it or leased it, the asset, it's what the car is worth. Forget about the finances attached to it. You can't, and look, if it's a Jeep Wrangler, if it's a car that has a high resale value, like a Jeep Wrangler or a G-Wagon, these are top 10 best resale values in the world, then all I'm gonna do is after I lease it, I'm just gonna sell it and I'll make the equity. But I'm not going to look to trade that car or replace that car in a year, 18 months, break my lease contract. Now you do your equity assessment, Jill. Call your leasing company, find out what your payoff is. You said it's 36. Now, if you can get offers higher than 36, then you can get out. Very simple. So get the offers from the companies that I mentioned about 15 minutes ago. I laid out the 6 companies. But when you lease, though, you must put no on those websites. It's going to ask you, do you have is the vehicle owned, leased, or financed? You want to put owned, because something triggers on their websites. They think every lease has a third-party restriction. Most of them do, but if you just want to find out what the market value is for your car, and if you could get out and make some money or break even, then yes, you can jump out, no problem. But if you see that your buyout is this and all the offers are below that, then what you're now about to do, even if you say, because some people will say, all right, well, I'm gonna walk in the dealer, see if they can work a better deal than that. No dealer is going to give you more than the online buyers. So if you run those online quotes and all of them are less than your payoff, all a dealer is going to do is take the negative equity and the desperation for you to get out and roll that negative equity over to your next vehicle because you're desperate to get out for no reason. So that's the real. You can do what you want. I would suggest you don't get out of your lease. You don't break a lease contract until you can financially do it, which means I can break even, I can sell, and I can get equity, or either break even. Break my contract, but I'm not coming up with a dime because a dealer bought my car and I'm out of this thing. That's the only way I'm breaking a lease contract. I'm not rolling negative equity. I'm not going to create negative equity in a lease to get out of a lease early for no reason. It just doesn't make financial sense at all. All right, no problem, Jill. Happy to help. Happy to help. Okay, so that's step 2. See, the equity assessment step, guys, is so important. See, because it's the foundation of our deal. So when you look at step 1, the leasing versus buying question, how many years do you keep in the car? 8-year rule. That's step 1, super important. Foundational of your deal. As I said, you can't get a good deal if you purchase, but you should have leased. Impossible. You got a bad deal. I don't care how much money you get off. Now, second step is if I have a car to replace, I got to do an equity assessment because I need to know, is this car that I'm in going to be going to prevent me from making a move right now? Too much negative equity, I'm prevented from making a move right now. If I can get out, make some money, now I got some money. I can sell. I can put money in my pocket, put it in my bank. That means it's an asset. It's a blessing to me. So your car that you're in could either hinder you from getting a car or it can help you get the next car. That's why we always do the equity assessment before anything else. All right. I don't know why I'm frozen on Instagram. All right, go ahead back in, Dolan. Next question. Okay, now I'm back. I see. I'm just monitoring Instagram. Okay, and just so y'all know, everything that I'm teaching is out my new book. And look, I want to show y'all this. And before, keep that question up. Look, here we go. Boom. Look at that. 4.94. Thank you to everybody. We're higher now. I think we're up to 35 ratings, 28 reviews. So thank you to everybody who's reviewed the book on Goodreads. Appreciate you. And thank you for everybody who's using it. Make sure you are writing me with your success stories. Show me your deals so that I can post them just like I posted Tiffany's deal. But everybody can get the book. You can get yours for $90. It's normally $97. But as our welcome special, our book launch special, you can get it for $24, 75% off in my TikTok bio for 30 minutes, or my Instagram bio, or in the comment section of YouTube or Facebook. We have a comment pin for you. And if you're watching us on TV, you can use your phone and you can scan the QR code here on the screen, and you can get your copy for 75% off. But once that timer hits 0, if you visited that page and the timer it started, once it hits 0, the price does go back up to $97, which is still a great price. It's a great price either way. And it'll be in your inbox in a couple minutes. Okay, this is from Instagram. I use your template in the book to ask for quotes. Their response is the lowest offer you ever received. They are being difficult and giving me their best offer. What's the best way? Use the scripts. It's just conversation. Hopefully you listen and you have a separate email, because you're not going to have intelligent conversation with 5, 7, 10 dealers mixing personal emails. So every part of the system is important, having a separate shopping email. So everything in there is dealers. And now everything they're saying, we have a response for. Every single thing. It doesn't matter. Don't expect 80% dealers to be easy. Expect them to, hey, can we have a conversation? Hey, when can you come in? Hey, this be a whole lot easier if you're here. See, what we already know is we've given them all the information they need to give us a quote. So the best thing, or the stages we move through in our conversation with dealers, is who has a car that I want. That's first. Our first set of scripts is designed to weed out the dealers who don't even have a car we want. Nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about. So there are dealers who won't tell you they have a car. That's why we have scripts. Hey, when can we talk? I'll be handling my whole purchase online. Can you confirm if you have something that matches? Every one of my scripts ends with a question. If you're not going to use my scripts in my book, then you make sure every email you write should end with a question, never a statement. So what you're sitting at home and you are copying and pasting. Very simple. Everything they say, we have a response, because I use those scripts. I'm from inside the dealers for 14 years. I know those scripts. Hey, it'd be easier if you were here. Hey, we only do business in person. Hey, when can I get you on the phone? I promise it won't take long. All of the stuff they're going to say. Hey, we only quote in person. None of the people I'm talking to have said that. So should I remove you from my list? Always ends with a question. So your expectation may be, you thought by sending all the scripts, you were just going to get, oh, quotes coming in, everyone doing this. No, that's why we have scripts, because we keep the conversation moving forward. Everything they say, just go to the script, open the template. And just so y'all know, in my book, one of the best reasons why it's a digital book is because I link you to videos and I link you to documents, and that you can copy and paste. So that what this person is talking about is the templates and scripts that I've created for contacting and having these conversations with dealers. So, but everything you are doing, everything they're doing is very predictable. You just change your expectation. I'm going to talk to several people and I'm going to weed this down to 5 offers. And out of the 5, one of them is going to beat everybody else. And then I'm going to use my counter offer calculator that Deshone made to send the counter offers and close my best deal. Take all the emotion out of it. Take all the emotion out of it. You should be emotionless. Nobody can hurt you. All right, you're at home in your living room. All right, go ahead. Mike said nobody gives us this info. I sold cars and the dealership wouldn't even give us any insight. Trust me, Mike, I understand, man. That's why I love the 20% of car salesmen and dealers. They love what we're doing here because they know we were never taught this stuff. So we were never taught about leasing, financing. Thank God I was able to learn it, and I was able to, but we weren't taught about insurances, all the stuff that they should be training us on. We weren't taught. So I appreciate you being here, man. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Next question. Great questions today. Great questions. Let's go. I see you. Shout out to the people running the likes up on TikTok. Can y'all just keep tapping the screen every couple minutes if you could? If you enjoying the show, you getting value out of what we're doing, every couple minutes, if you could just tap that screen and keep running those likes up. I appreciate y'all. It lets TikTok know we talking big money over here. Yep, I see it. Thank y'all. Appreciate you. All right, this is Gary on YouTube. When leasing, is it all about purchase price? No, it isn't, Gary. Great question. When purchasing, it's always about purchase price. All in, out the door, tax fees, everything included. Purchasing is always. Now, leasing, we get our lease offers, and this is where we eliminate the term down payment. We no longer say down payment. I want you to eliminate that word, those words from your vocabulary. You want to replace them with total out of pocket. Total out of pocket. So all of our lease offers we're going to get is following the 1% lease deal principle, which is, because some people, I know Judith still asks, oh, hold on one second. Hold on. Okay, I think my wife's headphones hooked up to the broadcast here. Thank you for letting me know, Judy. So when we're getting, so the 1% lease deal rule is older than, it was around, I think, before I got into the car business at 2006. And what it was is if your lease payment was 1% or lower of the MSRP of the car, you stole a car. Stole a car. Example, I know if you've never seen a 1% lease deal, let me show you a couple. So this is Greg. Greg, look, first time posting here. I'm excited. My latest lease, graduated. Now we have a particular online, video library here. So when they say graduated, I have a coaching program, and but the steps are the same. So I always say, get in where you fit in. Steps are the same in my book, in my video course. He said, I followed the steps, set up a great lease deal, 36 months, 12,000 miles per year, all said and done. Monthly payments $527. MSRP is $56,275. So when you divide the monthly payment into the MSRP, you're going to get a number. Now, when you multiply that by 100, so I'll give you an example. Let me show you how this works. In Greg's case, I got my calculator up here. I would take 527, divide that into 56,275, which is the MSRP, not the selling price. Doesn't matter the selling price. The MSRP is how we gauge the value. Now, that's 0.009. Then we multiply that by 100, and that gives us 0.93%, which is what he put here in his post. So that's an under 1% lease deal. Look, it was a steal. I think someone messed up on the paperwork. No other dealer came close. There we go. Same thing with Freena. Freena just got a Jeep a little while ago. Look, her deal was better than his, my God. But it's a better lease program. Jeep had a better lease program at the time. So, I mean, she got a $579 a month lease on a 65,950 Jeep Grand Cherokee hybrid. Out of control. So this is how we're shopping. You want to follow the format of the 1% lease deal, which is I shop with 12,000 miles per year. If I'm doing 18,000, I'll adjust it later. If I'm a high mileage driver, who's a high mileage driver? You drive more than 20,000 miles per year plus. Who's a high type HM if you're a high mileage driver? All right, type HM. You adjust it later. 25,000 mile a year lease. You always shop with 12 because that's how we judge. I see you, Mr. Silver. That's how we judge. I see you, Ado Johnson. Or no, AD Johnson. Sorry. So still going to, this is still Gary's question. This is why we're not focused on the purchase price when we're shopping lease offers. We're focused on looking at the formula that we use to judge a great lease deal. And everything we do, I have 3 rules. 1% lease deal, I didn't make it up. That's a steal. In between 1% and 1.5%, that's a deal, because that's still better than a purchase. It's still great value. When you compare it to someone who's purchasing, they're paying tons more. Even somebody who didn't get a steal, because the lease program has to be there to get a steal. They got to want to give away these cars. They got to have great incentive, great, everything has to line up, stars in the moon, and then we get the dealer that's going to give us the biggest discount. If it's under 1%, that means the lease program was incredible. But a good lease program, great lease program, will still get you, when you shop your offers, in between 1% and 1.5%. So, you look at somebody like, I used, Charles. So Charles got a Palisade, very, very popular vehicle. He got 10 offers from home. His best offer was 1.23, $48,000 vehicle. He's paying $597 a month. Now that same $48,000 vehicle, and this, I'm about to hit on something that I said earlier, but I'm gonna really bring it across home plate right now. It's impossible to get a great deal when you purchase, but you should have leased. Because look, $48,000 Palisade, you guys know, we talked about it earlier, every $5,000 on a loan is about how much per month? Every $5,000 on a loan is about how much per month? I told y'all, stay by the keyboard, because we like to dialogue. So we want to make sure you are always by your keyboard so you could dialogue. Active learning. That's how you're going to get the most out of this show. Active. Okay. Anybody type it yet? Okay. Thank you, Dominic, on TikTok. Yes. $100. So that same Palisade that Charles is driving right now for $597, there are people who financed it, no money down, and they're paying almost $1,000 a month, $900 to $1,000 if they got a 5-year loan. If they took a 6-year loan, they're probably paying $8 something a month for 6 years. He's paying $597. So that's what I say. You cannot. And even when you have a good lease program and you get your offers, 1.23, 1.25, 1.3, great value compared to purchasing that car. You're avoiding the depreciation that someone who's purchasing is going to take, and it's no comparison. So, but there comes a limit. That's the third category. We got the steals, we got the deals, and then we got, I call this, it's time to chill. 1.5%. Above that, it's not a deal. There's no value there. There's very little value there. Now, no, there's no value. And I'm going to tell you why. Just add up all the payments. 1.5%, we're paying too much for a vehicle we're giving back. It's very simple. We're paying too much for a vehicle that we're giving back. When you take hold on, let me get rid of this. Put the banner back up for those of you who want your book at 75% off. Just scan it right there. Once you get above 1.5%, there's no value, because if you take a $40,000 vehicle, a steal at 1% is $400 a month. A deal is between 4 something and 6. That's 1 to 1.5. 600 a month. Now, above 600 a month, let's take 650. That's 650 divided into 40,000. 650 divided into 40,000. That's a 1.6 lease. I never signed it. Never signed it. I'm gonna tell you why. 650 times 36 months, $23,400. $23,400 I'm paying over 3 years for a $40,000 vehicle that I'm giving back. I paid more than half of the vehicle to give it back in 3 years. So those of you who always wondered what the 1.5% rule, I had to create it, because the 1% rule, a lot of savvy people knew about it. But I noticed There was no threshold for when a bad lease deal. When are we at a bad lease deal now? We know what a steal is, but what's the bad lease deals? And when I started looking at the comparison to purchasing and then the giving a car back, once you get up above 1.5%, there's no value in leasing that vehicle. Next. Clear? We don't sign bad lease deals. Only time we did that, I'm gonna tell you something. All through the pandemic, I had people making 5, 7, 10 grand. Kid you not, hundreds of them. If they were making that kind of money selling their leases, then that was the only exception. Some of them will take a 1.6 lease, put money down. Some of that big equity they had that they didn't even know they were going to have, they would put it down to lower their payment. But that was the only exception back then. I never co-signed somebody doing it now. Okay? There we go. Gary, Gary, in my TikTok bio, are you on my email list? Send me an email. You want the whole, you just send me an email and we'll make sure we get you in. And that's a special price, and I'll get you the special price to join us. Okay. I don't know how, can we communicate on YouTube? I don't think we can. I think we can only communicate. If you follow me on any of the other platforms, Gary, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, they allow those direct messages and we'll be able to see you. Just send me a message and I'll get you I'll have the team find some special link to get you in at that price. All right. MSRP, Todd, is always the bottom line. Okay, this is a great question. Hold on. We'll pull another question up, but I want to do Todd's question he just asked right here. He said, do you include freight and handling in the MSRP calculations? That's a great question. Very common. Let me show you this. When you are looking at the MSRP, y'all, leases and purchases of brand new cars, used car purchasing is different. But when you're shopping, we're always shopping based on the MSRP. So let me show y'all this. I'm actually going to save a window sticker right now, and I'm going to bring it onto the show. Hold on. All right, so let me go here. Boom. Check this out. All right, here we go. Hold on. It's loading. Boom. All right, so here's a window sticker. Now, these numbers can be a little confusing. We want to go right there. Right there. Total MSRP is all we care about. Right there. Total MSRP. Because you do pay for destination to get the car from the factory to the dealership. That's included. Like that's we pay for that. So it's no problem. We need to know. You don't want to account for any of these numbers up here before the option. It's always the bottom line MSRP, total MSRP. Now, if you ever see an addendum next to a window sticker, you see a handwritten addendum or a typed addendum that takes this total MSRP and it gives some other stuff next to it, we pay no attention to that. And in my case, if you're using what I'm teaching you, you would never even be talking to that dealer about getting a quote until you got home. So even if you go, the only time we would actually even see that particular dealer, that particular window sticker, is if we showed up to test drive the car and that particular one that we test drove just so happened to have the addendum on it. That's the only time we'd even see it. Quite honestly. It's no way, it's not even something, because we never talk numbers in the dealer. Your leverage is at home. Everything I'm teaching you is your leverage is at home. You can talk to multiple people from home. You can get bids from home. You can put people against each other from home. You're in control from home. You lose all of that sitting down at a car salesman's desk and going back and forth one-on-one. You can see the whole market at home. See, we get below market deals. I want you getting below market deals. There's no way for you to get below market deals without seeing enough offers to know the market. I can never sit down across the table from a car salesman and get a below market deal because I don't know what the market is. I only know what your price is. And every single one of your competitors is going to offer me a different price. Some higher, some lower, depending on who you are. And so I can only expose that information by being at home. But yes, everything we are doing is always based on that total MSRP, and that's how we do our calculations. Okay, great question. If everybody's getting value out of the show, could you type some dollar signs? Just type a dollar sign if you're enjoying the show so far. So if whenever you see this show, if you see the banner above us, then this is a rebroadcast. But if there's no banner, then we're live. So you can ask your questions, but you can always make sure that I always want to make sure that you guys have access to the live shows so that you can use them. But even the rebroadcast, if you're sitting on watching the rebroadcast, you're going to get the same value pretty much as somebody here live, because somebody's going to ask the same question you had. I can almost guarantee it. So I'm glad. I see a lot of dollar signs. Perfect. I see a lot of dollar signs. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, please subscribe so that you can keep in touch with what we're doing here. And certainly, good job. I'm happy everybody's getting value. Go ahead, Dolan. We got a few more minutes. Post another question. Great questions today. All right, this one's from Instagram. I haven't had any car leases on my credit before. How likely will I be able to lease an $80,000 car? I have great credit. If you got great credit and income, then you could go for it. Great credit and income, you could go for it. Whether you have the car. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Mercedes did not want to be people's first lease. So there are snooty brands out there. I cannot tell you that because BMW may not be that way. Audi may not be that way. Range Rover may not be that way, because I think Chase does their leases. So, but when it comes to Mercedes, they didn't want to be your first lease. You really had to have some type of comparable credit. But if you have great credit and you have the income, then certainly I'd be going for a lease. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Just like the chicken and the egg, you know what I mean? Like, which comes first? Or it's better is the job and the experience. You can't get a job without experience. You can't get experience without a job. So in this particular case, somebody has to be your first, lender, and most of them will. Yeah, most of them will. You know what I do too? One more thing. I have this in my book too. Just so y'all know, every little detail is not left out, because I've been doing this since 2006. I've heard every question, and I knew every question has a place. What I do, if I'm you, is before I even shop for a car, if I don't know for sure, even with great credit, if I could get approved, I would call and I'd ask for the finance manager, and I'd tell him my situation. And I say, hey, look, you know what? I got a 740 credit score. I make this a year. I never leased before, but what do you think? And if a Mercedes finance manager would tell you, nah, it's probably not going to work with Mercedes. But someone else would say, nah, that's fine. So that way you don't even waste your time getting all your offers just to find out that this is one of the snooty leasing companies. All right. All right, there we go. All right, shoot the next one up, Dolan. Jason Hughes from IG. 12 to 15K in equity. Great job. Okay. I mean, it's nothing you did, but if you got the equity assessment and you got bids, great job. Now, wait a minute. It doesn't sound like you got bids. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it wouldn't be an equity range. That sounds like an estimate. In fact, it doesn't sound like an estimate. It is an estimate. 12 to 15 is an estimate. When we get bids, when we do our equity assessment, we're getting bids and we're like, hey, I have $13,580 equity based on my highest offer from Driveway. See, get out of the ambiguity. Get out of the middle there. Let's get finite, definite numbers and stay out of these ranges and estimates, especially on things that take us 20 minutes to do. Call your bank, get your payoff, go online, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, AutoNation, sell my car, Car Guru, sell my car, Kelly's Blue Book, instant cash offer. 20 minutes. Get your equity. 8 payments left, not keeping 8 years, now a good time to lease. 100%. 100%. There's no benefit in waiting. Listen, that is the path for a lot of people, Jason. A lot of people are going to discover what we're doing here, teaching by the numbers, not by emotion. And they're going to realize that not leasing has cost me money. Should I wait or should I just transition now? There's no reason to wait.
There's no reason to wait. The only thing that would make you wait when you do your equity assessment is you have too much negative equity, you can't get out. That's the only time. Or you have a credit situation where you need to actually get your smart car, get a car for 2 years, rebuild your credit, and then go lease. Anybody else, no benefit. I'd be leasing tomorrow because I had a friend of mine, he's a close friend of mine. He's actually in my program. You know, he uses our stuff. And he's like, he had a Kia Telluride. Well, he had an accident. Vehicle got totaled. Now, he said, now I know the 8-year rule, Deshone. I'm going to lease this next one. He gets his bids. Last week, he leased the Kia Telluride for under $500 a month. The same vehicle that he was paying hundreds of dollars every month for. More. Hundreds of dollars more per month. I don't know what his payment was, but I know what a Kia Telluride costs to purchase. A $45,000 Kia Telluride to purchase with no money down is $800-900 a month. So he's literally under $5, no money down, when he was just paying hundreds more than that. So you're in the same situation. No point in waiting. Transition to a great value lease. Get your offers. You wish you could. You wish you would have did it sooner. All right. Go ahead. Next question, Dolan. Car brands will no longer offer V6. Buy the lease. Let me talk to this question on TikTok. Not right now. Get the next one. Go ahead, Dolan. Put the one you're going to put out. But get that question that this person just posted about car brands no longer offering V6s. Should he buy the lease? If you have one ready, though, put that one up. Deshone, will your book work for both lease and buy? Well, you know what? Let this person answer that for you because we just got this review. This book is outstanding. This is Barrett. And you can see all our reviews on goodreads.com. Must read, must have for anyone seeking to buy, lease, or even sell a car. It is presented in very professional, easy to follow, step-by-step manner that covers every situation. Every situation. Does your situation, Keith, fall under every? If so, we got you. Every situation from buying, leasing, with cash or credit, good or bad. Only thing that Barrett didn't put in there is used cars or new cars. That's in there too. So absolutely. So yes, I'll put the banner back up for all of you who are watching us on TV. You can you can scan the QR code here with your phone, with your camera, and you can get your book for 75% off, or you can go to deshonesbook.com. We have the link in the comments on Facebook or YouTube for you. And if you're on Instagram or TikTok, you can go to my bio, click that link, and then click the button for the 75% off and get your book for 75% off. You won't pay the normal $97. Okay? But yes. All right. I have a 2020 Nissan Sentra. This is Key. I don't want to butcher your name, so I won't try. But from YouTube, I have a 2020 Nissan Sentra. Had it for 2 years. My miles are 64,000 highway miles. Okay. I know I don't have equity. I was told don't trade it in. Would be a bad decision. It's true. We don't trade cars in. We get bids. So you need to find out what your equity position is. See, many of you are finding out right now how important the equity assessment is. Whenever you have a current car, equity assessment. So when you call your bank, get your payoff, then you go and you get the offers, you're either going to be in a positive equity position or a negative equity position. Now, if you're in a negative equity position, there's three solutions for negative equity. 2 of them lead to a car, 1 of them doesn't. First is you get all your offers and you can pay the difference because these are the highest offers. So whenever you are, the highest offers are these online bidders. They pay more than car dealers. In fact, 3 of them are car dealers that are bidding. So Kelly's Blue Book, Car Gurus, and AutoNation are car dealers bidding. CarMax, Driveway, Carvana are online marketplaces, used car marketplaces bidding. So you're getting a wide range of diverse offers from people who compete every day to buy cars. and they cut your check right then and there. They do an hour. Both times I went to CarMax, me and my mother separately, we were out in an hour. I've had people who sold to Carvana, Kelly Blue Instant Cash Offer. They do their inspection. And then they bring you a check. So if you can pay, let's say you said you don't have equity. So if that's the case, then you may have negative equity, which means you might owe 30 and your highest offer is 28. Then I would come up with the 2,000 and I would pay the difference all day long because I'm still winning through a bid. My car's value is maximized through a bid. And if I don't get bids, I'm not maximizing my car's value. So now, second, when we can't pay the difference, then that means we must trade. This is the only scenario where we trade because you need now one part of the bidding strategy you can't do. So you're going to do the other part of the bidding strategy, which is now think about what car you want. Okay, I want a Toyota Camry. Now I'm going to get my bids. I'm going to get the lowest bid, the dealer that's going to sell me the car for the lowest amount, and then I'm going to purchase from them. But before I can purchase, now I need to bring my old car into the scenario and ask them, how much is my old car worth to you? Now that's the winning dealer. You need them to bring that loan because you need them to carry that negative equity you have and put it on top of your existing deal. So you cannot depend on, don't even think that they're going to pay the amounts you had over here. Oh, Driveway was offering me 29. Yeah, you could tell them that, but again, they're not going to be able to pay that. They can't beat all their competition on the bid and then beat all the online buyers on the bid. So that's why I say your first option is always to pay the difference. Because you can win with bids there, you maximize, and then you do a separate transaction, you can still keep them separate. But if you cannot get bid, if you can't pay the difference, your only option is you have to trade that car in, and then you're going to let the dealer who you buy the car from wrap the negative equity into the existing lease. It's hopefully it's a lease because there shouldn't be any reason you're trading that car unless you just want a lease. To buy another car, unless you're saying you're keeping it 8 years, which, like I said, most people, I've been doing this for years, they're going from a finance to a lease. Now, one more scenario. I told y'all it's 3 ways out of negative equity. One leads to no car. You have too much negative equity and you cannot put it on top of the actual deal because banks have loan to value ratios. So if you have $10,000 of negative equity, you can't just slap that on top of a $30,000 or $40,000 car. It's going to be too much unless you put money down. So you can't if you got some cash, you can make the deal happen, but you're not going to be able to do a no money down deal because you're looking to have the bank approve the car, the tax, the fees, which probably another $1,500, and 10 grand of negative equity. And then you want to find that's too much because the dealer has to go to the bank and say, we know this car is priced at 40, but we'd like you to lend this person 54. They're not going to do it. They might lend max 50. So the more negative equity you have, if it's too much, you're either going to have to bring some cash to the table to get the deal done. And if you have no cash, you got to wait. You got to pay down the car. It's the only option. That's why I say, know the cause of negative equity. It's usually because you haven't leased. 99, I could tell you the way out. I just gave you the way out. That's in my book, 3 strategies for negative equity. But when if you don't know the cause and you just turn around and get another purchase and you're not keeping it 8 years, you're going to be in negative equity again and again. And there's plenty of people, and some of you, it may be you, where you're like, dag, Deshone, that's me. Every time I go get a car, negative equity, negative equity, negative equity. It's like a vicious cycle. And the solution is you need to lease. What's causing that is you don't lease. So you're overpaying by thousands of dollars. All right. So listen, y'all, we will be back. We like to do these shows twice a day. If you're on my email list, you'll get the notification. We like to get through as many questions as possible, keep this around an hour, 15 minutes. And so all of you, appreciate you coming. If you want every single thing I teach in one spot in a step-by-step format, that's my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And you can get yours for 75% off in the comment section on YouTube. We got a comment section that's pinned, deshonsbook.com. Same thing on TikTok. I'm the same thing on Facebook. But if you're on Instagram or TikTok, it's in my bio. There's a website right in my bio. Click it and grab your 75% off. You'll get it for $24 instead of the normal $97. Now, if you went there and that timer started, then certainly get there before it hits zero, because once it hits zero, you have to pay the $97, which is still a great price. So my goal for this book is to be the most valuable book financially that you've ever gotten. That is my goal. So use it. Write me with your success stories. Show me your deals when you pick up your cars. Write me, email me, Deshone, just like Tiffany did. I want all of you emailing me your deals so that I can share them on the show. All right. So we'll be back. We'll be back with the next show. This was episode 9. Thank you for coming, and I will see y'all on the next show. God bless you.